Hello again. Welcome, everybody, to the Command Center. I'm Medic, your host. With me are Demo and XR Troika. And yes, we've seen the tweets. It's okay. You can stop now.
Leave us alone, because we
leave W alone.
Leave us alone. I'm not doing that.
He does a very good W impression. I have to let you know.
No, not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. Don't look at me.
Anyways,
I'm not doing that.
Anyways, I'm just gonna throw that aside because we have a very important match to talk about: Koi versus Elevate, which we really need both of these teams to show up. Then again, Koi only played one day. They had their off day yesterday, so let's break things down one team at a time. Of course, this is in Group A. Both teams stand at 4th and 5th, with Koi collecting 1 point and Elevate with none. Start a conversation over the Berlin Major champions. Koi, formerly known as Rogue. I'll have to turn to you, Demolad, because we saw a few of their players at the gym last night. Also, you had a bit of a chat to see how they're doing. How do you feel? What's happened to them? How do you feel their off day has been?
Does anyone want to guess what players were at the gym? If you were to look at the Koi lineup,
absolutely.
Who do we think's living in there? Yeah, I mean, they know that they need to show up today. Obviously, the G2 loss. It is what it is. You have to move on. Like I said, it's all about the bounce back for Koi. Elevate's an interesting one. It's a matchup that they did lose last year. We've seen Elevate versus, well, at the time, Rogue, so same core rosters going up against each other. Obviously, both teams have had changes since then, but Elevate ended up taking the win back then. So is that something that we have to look into a little bit and say, there's a history there? I don't think so. I think there's been plenty of changes at this stage. I think it's just very year ago. We know how different times have been now, in terms of meta, everything that goes into that. So I'm not really looking at the history side of things, but I think for Koi, the bounce back has to come today.
Your thoughts?
Koi, you've got no option but to win today.
What did they change about their gameplay? Because it seemed like...
I don't think it's a matter of fact of changing the gameplay. I just think that G2 went in it with a very good playstyle. I think G2, you have to give them more of the credit than Koi. Koi came in with their siege. G2 were ready for it, aggressive, rattled them, didn't let them really get the breathing room. If Elevate give Koi any breathing room today, you will see what this team can do.
Speaking of breathing room, Ollie?
Why speaking of breathing room?
What does that mean?
For you to give him some breathing. Yeah, there you go.
I think that Demo's right in what he says. I don't believe that many teams would have beaten G2 in that opening day. True. Because we've seen how good they play. We've seen them against W7M, and Koi just got unfortunate to come up against them on that kind of a day. I don't think there was loads that Koi were doing wrong. You saw some of the tweets that the players were putting out. I know Leon put one out specifically saying there's not much we can do when we're just losing every gunfight. And that's just sometimes how Siege goes. If you're losing every gunfight, you can't get anything going, you're going to lose the map. So, new day, they've had a break. We know the Koi boys love a rest. Their warm-up is 3 days off. These guys don't scrim and all this sort of stuff. That's what they were saying for Berlin, at least. But jokes aside, I think they'll be ready to go here. And they're going up against Elevate. This should be a walk in the park.
Now let's talk about Elevate and what they'd have to offer in this matchup, because of course they played yesterday, their rest day, and it's not until later in the week, and they went up against SSG. SSG looked really, really good in that game, but Elevate still going off similar scores that we saw them when they played against W7M. So at least there's that consistency, but is there more that I'm just not able to see?
Sure, there's a consistency, but if you're losing, you're losing. So it's not a good consistency in my eyes. I think for Elevate, this is do or die today. You need to go and win this, or else I think they're going to go home. And considering the last game is against G2, who I think has been on fire as well, it's tricky.
Look, has there anybody been, is there a key player or an X factor that Elevate can pull off? Because let's remind everybody again, a year ago, the world record for kills in a match was tied at 27. And that was for our own Onigiri, Elevate's own Onigiri. So can this happen again against Koi today, Oli?
I don't think we're going to see any kill records broken today from the Elevate side of things. I'm not going to speak as to how the Koi guys are going to play. I'm sure that they will do their own thing. But you want to look at, sort of ratings or players that are doing particularly well at the moment. There's nobody really on the side of Elevate that's setting the world on fire. In stark contrast, they're actually populating a lot of the bottom of that table, the bottom of those ratings. We've got a graphic that we're going to throw up. It is going to just demonstrate demonstrate, it's quite straightforward, but this is something that we really picked up on yesterday, Demo, is that Elevate really struggling on the attack. Now, we'll make comments about teams that struggle on the attack or teams that don't do very well on the attack. 19% is extremely low.
Overall is just overall win rate? Overall
is Elevate versus everyone. So Elevate's attacking win percentage, 19. Everyone else's, the average of every other team inside SI, 46.
Wow.
Like 19%, you're winning 1 in 5. That's you essentially doing 5-1 splits. You're losing 5-1 splits on attacks.
Well, they are though. That's the thing.
Exactly. It's not good enough.
Out of games with 2 attacking rounds, no attacking rounds. These are the things that are really struggling for Elevate at the moment. And honestly, I was looking through and I was trying to sort of figure out where this could be from. I think it has a lot to do with what they're bringing. I think you look at some of the compositions that they're bringing, some of the things that they're trying, and I feel like they're just trying a little bit too hard. I'd love to see the basics. I really want to see it go back to basics today.
All right, we got a few minutes, only a couple here before we get into game, so let's pull up our map bands and see what we're working with in this best of 3 series here in our group stage. And it's 4 bands before we go pick, ban, and decider, starting off with Bank. That is Koi's pick. They start on defense. Defense start for Chalet, for Elevate, and then we'll have to see for the last one with our arrows.
Bank, great map for Koi. It's one that they can really flow into. They have a good rhythm on it. I think good rotations in terms of their defense setups as well. Chalet, for me, is probably the scary one. Chalet's a map that Koi don't play. I think the last time you've seen them play was at the Berlin Major, and that's like, what, 6 months ago now? If they get a chance to inside of EUL, which they did for Stage 3, they would ban it quite a few times. I don't know if that's just because a lot of teams play Chalet inside of that league, but it's certainly a map that we don't see Koi go to all too often. So Elevate obviously going to go for a map that maybe they don't have enough knowledge on in terms of what Koi are going to do, but if Elevate can go in there and they can play their Siege, which can be, you know, very gun skill oriented. We know they have some great gunners on that side. Chalet's map where I think that really wins you over. It's not as much strategic compared to what Bank gives you.
Bank is a map that we're seeing come through in a couple of these series so far, and I love it because I think Bank is a fantastic map. It really is synonymous with best of 3s for me. We know that Koi can play Bank. We know that it's a map that they do prefer. It is one of their most preferred maps. Throwing into the Chalet, as you say, Demo, it isn't the most popular pick for Koi, but it's a map that they have got a reasonable win percentage, round win percentage on when they do play it, and then Border as well. I'll be honest, I really think Koi have done quite well in this map, and I think they've won it.
So, who takes this and what's the score?
Well, like I said, I think 2-0 for Koi today needs to be a minimum. I think they need to go and get the 4 points. And again, I don't think they can afford to drop 3 points if they want to. Not just a case of getting out of the group. Place well in the group. There's a big bonus for finishing first in this group.
That's true.
And that, of course, is you get another rest day.
Neither team can afford to drop a point here.
Elevate even more, it gets even more dire, I guess, because February 11th, in 48 hours, that'll be the last day of Group Stage 1, and that will be a rest day for them. So they won't be able to collect points on that last day. There's a very high chance that things get more complicated, but hey, that means a lot of pressure on, but oh my God, he's so pretty. He's so pretty. Sorry, sometimes some things just take your attention away. Can we agree?
Have you lost your words?
Yes.
You've lost your train.
Anyways, to get back on my train of thought, thank you so much, gentlemen, for helping us out here. But our game is ready. That is Elevate versus Koi. We toss it to our casters. It's Pengu and Parker.
Thank you so very much, Milos. Good morning, and welcome to our very first matchup here on Stream A. And we're going to be starting with Koi versus Elevate. Surely an exciting matchup because every single APAC team that has played so far has led to a surprising match. Maybe not a surprising result, but an unpredictable match nonetheless. Do you think the same thing will happen here against Koi?
I have a bad feeling for Koi, I have to be honest. I feel like this could be a moment where Elevate, they will show up in grade 4s, and then Koi, they look like the fools. Both teams, you need a 2-0 clean win for the points. Demo and X spoke about that a lot on the desk, and I agree because, you know, this is day number 3. You need to get some points on the board to avoid the relegation spot, so to speak, and not make it to playoffs. So, Bank, the starting ground, definitely favors Koi, I would say, in terms of play style, map preference, etc. But it is a best of 3, so we got 3 maps to go through, at the very least 2 of those 3 maps. And the poll also favors Koi.
In terms of mental boom, teams can get mentally boomed by APAC squads being unpredictable. This is Koi's map, though. You know, I just want to say one thing. Harry, I think you've been doing a great job on the desk. That's demo. I can call him Harry because we're friends.
Okay, that's cool.
He said, and I quote, "For Koi, getting all 4 points is the minimum." But that's the best they can do. So what is the maximum, Harry? Huh?
That is just...
If the best result possible is the minimum, how do you go above that? That's the question that I want answered. I listened to that and I thought to myself, you know what, Harry, I'm going to roast you for it. Because he spent all day yesterday cooking me in the background. Operator bans are rolling in. Again, this is Koi's map. Dokkaebi and Nook are the two operators removed on attack. On a map like Bank, we see Nook a lot. We also see a lot of Nook bans on Bank. It's a huge map. Nook can get in through many different doorways, especially that big garage. It doesn't matter what bomb site you're defending. That Nook can be a major pain. Dokkaebi also exceptionally strong. Secondary gadget for Dokkaebi is really good. Those logic bombs, very potent at finding lurkers, finding roamers. You've still got Lion, you've still got Jackal if you're having some difficulties with that. As for the defenders, Valkyrie and Mira are removed.
It's pretty stable stuff here on Bank. I mean, Valkyrie for the information game, it works the same as Nook. For the defenders, well, if you have Valkyrie open, you can have information everywhere across the board. By Valkyrie being banned away, that is no longer as easily accessible. It's why you're going to see different kinds of intel operators, like, for example, Echo, that is being shown right now, to then gain back some of that information that was lost. And to speak about the Nook, just real quick, is that Cryan, who plays for Koi, is arguably, or at least recognized as one of, if not the best Nook player in all of EUL and possibly on international grounds as well across every single team here. So it's not uncommon at all for Koi to have that operator band against them almost every single map.
Absolutely. Now, on their run during the Berlin Major, one of the things that we saw on this map was Koi running the Echo. Deepak, with ice in his veins, he might not have been the MVP. As far as I'm aware, he wasn't the official MVP, but he was the MVP.
He was our MVP.
He was, yes. But you're going to see a lot of support work from Deepak. He's already scouting outside with that Echo drone, making calls if there could be a potential jump out.
This is one of the main playstyle characteristics that Rogue just showed when they won the Berlin Major and took the world by storm, is how they utilize the information game with Echo and then saying, Spoit, go kill! And that is also why Spoit is on the Oryx, right? The fastest operator. You can get across the map and just take gunfights every single place that you wish to.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Now, with this being that downstairs bomb site, unsurprising to see such an extended roam. There's the Lion. As we talked about, still plenty of roam clear operators available, even with the Dokkaebi being removed by Koi. Blitz actually is not too bad at being a roam clear operator. Why? Because when you've got that chunky boy running you down, you're going to clear that roam pretty quickly. You don't usually want to engage in that. The whole lineup from Elevate, in fact, is a bit problematic. A lot of annoyances in that lineup. They'll blind you with two separate operators. You got flashbangs in the hand of Mark on Lion, so another set, even though it's not built into that operator. Kanto clearly hears the shield advancing on him now.
Only problem for Elevate is that they're all coming from the same position from lobby side, so it's not like a pinch at all. It's just a push. Koi, they can hold off and slowly fall back.
Oh, bad engagement for Kanto Raketti. Reads the shots through the wall onto DCH. Cannot capitalize enough to pick up a kill. Does some damage in the process. Deepak had gone scouting with that Yokai drone. He'll gain even further information, but Koi is getting beaten across the entire map. Sapper taking damage as DCH did before, but Kanto and Spoit and Cryan, all good as gone. Talked about how Deepak is going to play those support roles. Those are the unsexy roles, thankless roles. Well, he's going to have a thankless job now with everything that Elevate is bringing at their disposal to him. They'll be bringing it right to his front door.
You almost got to pray for some Capcan trap kills or injuries here. Both Sapper and DCH low, but with the Ink Blitz execute, they can storm through the bombs in a 2 versus 5 with Deepak and Leon got to hold to get down.
And there go the Candelas, but Deepak still has more information on the position of the Blitz. DCH will drop it now as well, start to spot them. The Blitz will continue onwards. Deepak looking for some disorienting blasts. He's the last man standing. Sapper's been down and secured. There's also that Capcan trap to get the kill, but Elevate They blitz in very quickly, sweep out the roamers, they take round number 1.
It's a tough position for Koi to be in because it looked pretty good for them. I mean, Elevate, they all came from lobby side, no pinch happened as you mentioned. So Koi are feeling quite comfortable in their position on the map, open area, main stairs, top floor control, etc. But this wallbang right here onto Kanto, it just snowballed things out of control. Then Spoity fell as the second, Cryan is the third in open area, and you cannot hold the basement bomb side in this particular instance, a 2 versus 5, because they're not gonna go for a plant. Elevate, they're going to go for those kills. And Demo kind of spoke about the Koi G2 matchup. What were the problems that Koi faced? Well, it was that lack of breathing room, right? The G2 did not grant them. In the opening round, Elevate, they did take a lot of time to get into that initial ground of lobby, but once they got past the first barrier, they were not allowing Koi any breathing room, and they continued up that killing streak within 20 seconds.
10 seconds remaining. Stay clear.
It's the one thing that we've seen out of most of the APAC teams. The first couple rounds, they really like to set the pace and tempo of the matchup. No surprise that Elevate will be quick to the punch. No surprise that Elevate will bring tools to get, I don't want to say under the skin of their opponents, because I don't think there's any frustration that Koi will have dealing with a Lion or a Ying or a Blitz. Not that you want to face off against those operators, but they're deliberately annoying operators.
Statistically speaking, Elevate is not supposed to win another attacking round though, because there was that 19% overall attacking win rate, which is, I believe is the worst one here at the Six Invitational so far, or at least one of the worst. However, with how it looked in round number 1, I feel like they can get some more on the board. Bit of an operator lineup change here, more structured now, the IQ to counter intel, traps like the Captain, etc. And then you just have really stable operators. The Buck, the Ana, the Flores, and the Ace, they will work for every single bomb set on Bang. You just get soft destruction, verticality, secondary hot breach. You can lose a member of this attacking lineup and still have the other 4 cover every single job that you need to successfully get a round victory here.
First kill of this round goes the opposite way. DCH and Kanto Raketti in their battle that they had in round number 1. Kanto was the loser, this time he's the victor. Using the 10 seconds of a Yokai drone being out, and I think Onigiri actually got it there, but I'm unsure.
I believe he did, yeah. There's one more left in pocket of Deepak. When you lose your first Yokai, it can be risky to play, you know, front forward aggressive with the second one because then you have none left. So the first one normally is very aggressive, going out of the building. The second one normally stays within that perimeter of the building to guarantee some information in the late stage of the round.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
The halfway point of the round, a good time to get off of your drones and begin moving through the map. Elevate are once again pushing from mostly the same area.
No, that they are, and things are kind of going slow for them, right? It's been 2 minutes in the round. It's not the pace you want to set for yourself, but when you lose that early member, sometimes you guys gotta play it slower.
Yeah, especially when it's a Yana. DCH could have been the main person going in for the squad, and then they accompany her clone in, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. You lose the Gemini, you lose the nades, you lose what else comes with Yana.
Great gun.
Absolutely a great gun. Onigiri is gone now, engaging with Deepak. Onigiri had taken the Yokai drone away earlier, and Deepak said, my choice. Now it's Mr. Punch to take some damage on the wall. Final 30 seconds. One player from Koi hunkered down in the corner. A flashbang goes in. More damage to Mr. Punch. It's Deepak to secure the kill. Mark creeping up. He gets a target in the Kanto Raketti, but again a big play from Deepak. Standing pat on this position. A third kill to come in. It's all up to Zapper upstairs with limited time.
5 seconds remaining.
Doesn't have the diffuser, and doesn't know where any of the 4 remaining members of Koi are. That'll be the ball game for round number 2.
Out of time.
A better look for Koi.
If we don't go back to them, it's gonna be a fucking easy round.
Just like that. Whenever you hear player comes, it's always, again, it's so simplified and it sounds so easy because it's like, just do this, easy round, boom. Get in their face, boom. It's very, very, very kind of baseline piece of information that they give to each other. And I mean, you see one thing, you know, you're 5 members in a team, you always see your single point of view and you'll be like, oh, this is the problem. Fix that, easy win. But then you all have a kind of different view on things. Elevate, what they have to fix, however, is simply their pace in the first 2 minutes of the round and also the pinch. come from two different positions of the, or two different sides rather, of the map. Come from the east and the west, the north and the south. You can't just go 5 west or 5 east because, you know, Koi, they can just fall back and then all of a sudden they can use the clock against you as a piece of utility almost. Whereas if you're pinching them, then the net is closing in and time will not be a problem to the same degree as otherwise. Onigiri, however, showing us the Munti. That could signify a direct server attack, perhaps. Could also be to help the roam clear, like the Blitz did in the previous basement attack.
He'll be quick to get into the building yet again. And he will be.
Oh, yeah.
Onigiri is already in. And he will face check and clear out open area. Roam up top from Koi. Do they have information as to the fact that Elevate taking that main floor? Deepak very vocal as usual, still on this Echo, still on the Yokai. He gets spotted by a drone. We've referred to these before in the past by depth charges. Nade goes down from below, doesn't secure a single kill.
It's phase one, we're just scanning for information for both teams. No one wants to take the first punch as of yet. Of course, defenders, they want to take it slow, burn down the clock. And Elevate, just want to stay alive. Drone every corner and inch of the map, make sure no one's ratzing around and hiding. Because Koi, they do have those kinds of tricks up their sleeves they've been pulling out before. Second nade goes out, doesn't hit this mark. Can't, however, opening kill to DCH once again, 2 in a row.
DCH got that first kill in round number 1, but first death. Those 2, you said, is 2 in a row.
That's the standoff between those two individual players, and secondary EMPs are available on Onigiri's Munti, so the Kai Claws can be countered in that way, but again, we're not really making progress, or Elevate rather, is not really making progress anywhere.
Will it defang this entry? That's the question. It did on the previous round. That single first pick onto the Yana of DCH seemed to have a massive impact on Elevate. Onigiri with 1 kill a second added to it, but Kanto and Leon are in as well. Elevate ends up getting a couple kills to their name, but now still trail in numbers. And if the trades continue to go, Koi will benefit from this greatly. Still plenty of utility as well for Koi.
The dangerous thing here is that when you play the Munti, you really only have half a gun at your disposal, right? You can go for some hip fires, try an ADS in a 1 versus 1, or you'll just shut down. It's not a real 2v3, it's a 1.5 versus 3.
Kanto escapes that nade as it's dropped on down. Sapper in a 1v3. Similar position that Elevate was in the previous round. 30 seconds to go. A 1v3 on basement when you're going to have to face a crossfire likely from elevators, gold, or vault. This is a very hard spot to be in. Because Koi will be situated so that at least one of them sees you while you're shooting at another one. Sapper gets a kill onto Kanto Raketti. Will it matter? Only 5 seconds remaining to find the other two, and they're miles apart. He'll try his best, though. But he gets leveled by Deepak. Clock was almost at 0, so the round was over either way, but yet another kill for the stats for Deepak. And while they weren't as proficient on this bomb site the first time around, they fixed their mistakes and win that locker's basement defense.
Yeah. Curious what the bomb site next is going to be for Koi, because the way Elevate is playing, I mean, basement is heavily favored for the defenders right now because Elevate rather, they are struggling to clear out the map effectively. You have the Munti and Onigiri, and you go into open area with hatches above you, vertical destruction, etc. You could go top floor, clean it top down, and you know, if you're gonna spend a minute in open area, just kind of standing still, you might as well go all the way top down, spend that minute actually roam clearing. Instead, they get stuck, and they get pinched themselves as the attacking team. Now, I like this from Koi. Look at this. They have Solis, and then they have Caveira. And the reason why you do this kind of combination is because you want to only really play Caveira when the enemy does not know that you have this character hiding on the map. So you play the Solis to know where the drones are. You can shut them down. You can escort Caveira to her desired location where she wants to be hiding. And then you know for a fact that they have not spotted this out. Now, if they active drone in through lobby and Cryan gets spotted out, he will then know that he's been seen. He can run, he can fight, whichever. But now at least they know that there is a possibility for an interrogation if a single member walks in through ATM, which is a common position for an isolated member to go for the attackers to hold the lobby to, you know, make sure that the people rappelling on the bomb site windows that you see right now are safe.
Kanto's in the same spot that he was in before. DCH versus Kanto has been a battle for 3 rounds. We see it for number 4.
Is Kanto playing in Kanto's spot? Is that where he's playing?
He's not. No, he's not.
Oh, he's not. Okay. Iconic spot, though.
No, Iconic isn't in this match.
He'll be playing later, though. Ooh.
He will be playing later, that's correct.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, first kill goes to Elevate. Onigiri starting things off. Leon Gids killed not too far removed from the bomb site. That's the Warden. Look at the lineup, though, that's being brought by Elevate. Warden is not particularly crucial. There's no real smokes. There's nobody obscuring at all.
No, only one set of flashbangs as well, so not the most important operator.
This is a very brazen play by Cryan. Playing on the Cav right now. By ATMs. He's just scouting at the moment. Come back to the bomb site. Could an interrogation be on the menu? Cryan's very far removed from the pick, so I don't know if that's likely to happen. Kanto firing back downtown as Deepak got the very first kill, and there's Cryan taking DCH off of the rope. Mark thinks he's still there, but you are way too late. Elevate might have got the first kill, but Koi gets the next 3. Puts Elevate at a big disadvantage, but you saw what Onigiri is capable of doing at an SI last year.
That's for sure.
He's always a threat when he's on the board. There's still a minute to go. A 2v4 is not the end of the world. Problem is, you got to get in the building.
I was going to say, Elevate suffering the same problems round and round again.
What a problem it is. He gets in the building and immediately dies.
That's why they're staying outside, maybe. You know, getting inside just does not work, but the thing is you have to get in eventually. Koi, sure they play aggressive, sure they're going to swing you, but you can't fight them from outside the building every single round. Great crossfire. The swing does not come out. Mark finds the first kill. Has to battle every single member at once. It's Kanto with another on the board.
2 kills for Deepak, 2 kills for Kanto, 1 kill for Cryan. It's a bona fide team effort for Koi.
Mr. Bunch is pushing in, crouching. No drones, nothing with Slash.
Yeah, you tell him, Deepak.
Let him know.
I guess, just be careful now, yeah, they might change up, they might try to run that.
Elevate don't look that rocked by the start. Reminder that this is indeed Koi's map, so
yeah.
If you... Again, it doesn't matter how good your opponents are, and the strength of your map pool is obviously something that can be discussed. But if Koi's taking Elevate to bank, the assumption is that they think that they have a better shot at winning. If not, the best shot at winning.
Bank is definitely one of Koi's best maps, and I think for APAC in general, as a region here at this current tournament, they've been struggling on their attacking side. Bank is statistically all of last year an attacker favorite map, but the thing is, it's not by any means an easy map to attack on. It requires a lot of coordination due to the sheer scale, how big the rooms are, how far apart they are, and how many different angles you gotta work with, right? Whether it's window repels, while also, you know, entering into the building, while also droning together. It's like 3 separate members that have to work in union to get through a single room successfully with all things covered. Onigiri, on the more aggressive operator, from the Monty to the Amaru, can fly in through CEO, but Spoit is waiting up above. This might be a free kill.
Ah, Spoit reads into it quite well. I like the Amaru pick, I really did. I wanted to see what could come out of it, but not much.
A quick death, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just mentioned that you got an entry while also being on the window repels, also droning. There is no way Elevate had live information inside of CEO, otherwise they would have known Spot was roaming around. So are they just blindly guessing / hoping / praying that it's clear versus just spending that 20 seconds or in drone phase perhaps, getting a deep drone in towards CEO? It tells them that either Elevate did not plan for Onigiri to go into CEO during the drone phase, or the drone they tried to get in there died early in the round, and instead of spending 20 seconds, they just said, let's just gamble it. It's not a good look either way, and Spoit, he wants one more.
No, he doesn't get it. Doesn't even do a single point of damage. to Mr. Punch as he jumps out of the window. I mean, hey, why not go for broke, I guess. Didn't really kill a lot of time there. I mean, that was a... I don't know if that was the play from Spoit. I understand the thought process behind it, but...
Yeah, I mean, if you get the kill, and like, Spoit knew he's going to die, even if you got the kill most likely. But then you play 4 versus 3. It's a very advantageous position to be in. An injury goes out from below, but hey, nope, make it 2, huh?
Oh, okay.
Wait, so Mark got injured, but Mr. Punch, he just stayed alive. They're both dead.
You ever catch 2 at the same time?
Never, have I ever.
Well, Leon Gids showing up in style and getting on the board, actually.
That's true.
Everybody from Koi has a kill at this point. Everybody in the match actually has a kill. Not just Koi.
Now you just gotta take your brain out of your skull. As you say, Parker, if you elevate, just kind of go crazy here. Just drop a hatch, take a fight, win that gunfight, try and get the numbers back down into your favor, neutral position, and then just fight it out. 45 seconds, you have no smokes, no hot breach, you can't really strategically pull this apart. I mean, you got the Canovers and Sapper, but those walls are so big, and Kento is striking so true.
Sapper yet again in a 1vx. Third time so far through 5 rounds that this young man's been in this predicament.
He's kind of blocking everything.
I mean, what do you do at this point?
I mean, this is what you do. You just kind of, you linger.
No nitro cells, no impacts remaining for Koi, so doesn't have to worry about being blown sky high. I don't know if he's privy to that information.
5 seconds remaining.
Sapper survived the first time this happened. The second time he died in the final seconds, and that's exactly what won't happen this time. He's going to survive yet again. 4-1 for Koi. This first half is going all according to plan. They will call a timeout on Elevate's side.
There was a yellow ping going out right before the Amaru went in. I'm curious if that was towards Sport's position or it was like it could have been. It's hard to tell in the exact position of it, but yeah. Oh, there was a Jonian. Okay, and then this C4 impact, and bam, double kill, just like that.
Great spectator, by the way, to see that from above. Excellent job to our nameless and faceless spectator.
Nameless and faceless.
Yes, because I know that he can hear us.
Yeah. You also know who
he knows to talk to us.
He actually does talk to us sometimes.
That's correct.
Yeah.
He just talked to us right now. You can't hear him, though.
No.
But we can.
Oh. I don't think I've seen this bottom graphic before. Maybe I'm just absolutely blind normally, but...
I haven't seen it during timeouts either.
Okay, I was going to say...
I will say, though, the side-by-side graphic, as nice as it is,
yeah,
it deprives us of the ability to listen to a single team's comms, because it's both teams speaking at the same time.
And in 2 different languages, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas yesterday, you and I were getting out of the way of the cast and allowing the coach to speak. And even our dear friend XR Troika, a.k.a. Axe, a.k.a. Ollie, a.k.a. the Big O.
A.k.a. the military man today.
That's correct.
Yep.
They both look like at any moment they're about to lead a coup d'etat.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but sure.
We'll talk about it after.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
I'm very disappointed right now. You know, I'm sorry.
Dad.
Like, do you not think to yourself, like, when you show up, like, maybe one of us should change? But anyway.
When I saw them, I was like, either they planned this and there was like a bad idea, or they like didn't plan at all and then this happened. So it was the latter. They didn't plan.
Either way, yes, he said earlier on the analyst desk that he really enjoyed that he got to actually hear the teams speak, and he actually got to hear the teams talk things through. And I mean, I think it's great. And given the fact that we have access to player comms, for those of you that don't particularly like hearing Pengu and I speak, it'll be a blessing because we just won't be talking as much. But for everybody else, you get to learn how the teams communicate, and listen-ins are an often highly requested feature.
Yeah. I mean, even us as casters, I really value the insight as well, because we can only really...
I really wish I knew Portuguese so I could listen to their comms.
Oh, yeah, that's what...
I've been saying that all week.
Yeah. Jesus. That caught me off guard.
Joke is, chat, that he's been saying that all week.
Yeah.
Every single day, he's like, I really wish I spoke Portuguese.
No, I mean that. I do mean that. Anyway.
This Elevate lineup is the nasty lineup that we saw before. There's A ton of annoyances on the board. They're going to go back to what I guess they consider to be all reliable. Blitz, Ying, and Lion being brought out for this very final attack on the side of Elevate. They will attempt for the third time this Locker's bomb site down below. They were successful the first time, and look at how quickly they're in. They've dropped in. There go the Candelas. Deepak is as good as dead. Get off your drone, get off your drone, get off your drone. Oh. Sapper, one tap man.
Pace change works out for them.
Warden is actually a great pick right now. Cantor Raketti in the same spot. Elevate exploiting the blind spot. Leon Gids has no idea that Elevate are just in it, and they are in it to win it, my friends. Site control is very firmly in the hands of Elevate, and they're just going to have the brazenness to go on Rotero drone, throwing out Candelas. They completely command the bomb site. Not a single member of Koi is within striking distance of that diffuser being planted. The power of the timeout. Now Elevate as the diffuser goes down, we'll watch the hatches. But Onigiri doesn't see Kanto's retreat to the bomb site. Kanto can drop as long as nobody's watching it. Kryan will have to maneuver his way in as he drops to the stairs, and Spoit drops as well. Kanto taken out. They had eyes on that vault. Kryan doesn't know where he is. Over inside of Elevator. Wait, now he does. Spoit sees the blitz, but yeah, you're dead. You're absolutely dead. Get out of here. Get out of here. 3 kills from Elevate, all coming from different players on the team after within the first 90 seconds. They had managed to kill Deepak, the only person from Koi who's actually within the bomb site. And then it was just a perfect post plant. Excellently played by Elevate. That's the first half in the books.
I don't think we necessarily caught, at least I did not, but I'm not sure if the lobby hatch was reinforced or soft. Last time around, it was a hard hatch was reinforced, but it seemed like Elevate just really went for a really quick and aggressive attack in that round, and it caught Koi off guard. I mean, Deepak is still on drones, on the Yokai, just scouting for information, essentially being, everything's kind of clear, guys, I don't know where they are, and next second, he's dead on the bomb side to a blitz just standing next to him. And it's so hard to retake as a defending team. The only real saving grace was Leon Gates on the Warden, but he lost his gunfight to the Ying. And once that happened, well, then the Blitz and the Ying Candelas just get enabled so much more. And Elevate, they break that 19% attack and win rate. They get 2 rounds on their attack inside before the side swap. Well, now they are going to go downstairs to the basement instead. And Koi, they have to attack it. Kento Raketti showing us one of his quote-unquote newly found operators in his arsenal. That is the glass that he plays for Koi. Of course, you got secondary set of smokes from Deepak and Leon Git, so 3 sets of smokes. Gonna go for a server attack into an A execute, most likely by the looks of things, with Leon Git's that single hop to Thermite. An aggressive jump out.
Oh, and it works to get one. Deepak on that Ying, no more, but refragged by Leon Gids. I'd say great value for DCH on that one. Taking the Ying out of action. Yeah, you're the Jaeger, you die, but persistent gadgets, right? ADSs will stay whether you're alive or not.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was the second highest value target you could have killed. Leon Gitz and Heartbreach would have been the best, target to eliminate because the hot wall onto site for default plant. Deepak on Ying and Kanto on Glass are the second highest priority, so a great trade indeed. Now, Koi, they are in server, but Mr. Punch at the bottom of server stairs is going to be the problem for them. Leon finds Saba, however, so Koi has time to find kills across the map.
There's another smoke that gets tossed out by Mr. Punch. Still one in pocket with 2 minutes to go. That means that if this round slows down and there's a push that happens later on, they won't be able to blanket the bomb site. Mr. Punch is in a really rough spot. There it goes, but he's got the shotgun out. He's good enough for a single kill. Sending Leon's to an early grave. Spoit trades it. Elevate, though. Well, they're behind in numbers.
Koi had the option there. Either Leon gets on Glass or swing the bottom server stairs and trade, or Leon gets on Thermite. They actually choose that, or deem rather, that the Glass is more valuable despite having no smoke in it now for the gadget, and now they can't get open its default wall position. I feel like Kenzo should have swung that instead. Leon gets the wall opened up, maybe then you can plant. Now it's difficult. Had Kenzo had more smokes in his pocket, this goes differently, but that's not the case. It's a 3v2, but Elevate in a great position. Goyo canister fires are ready. 1 impact grenade. Mark only has half HP. Koi, they almost have to go for kills here, or at least get one of those members off the board. Otherwise, I'm not sure they can plant.
Well, there's the fire in front of them that will continue to go and go and go. They're just waiting, biding their time. You're right. I mean, Koi could stall out here, but because they have a numbers advantage, you got to get somebody around the back of the bomb site, right?
It's that, or you just try and plant that soft wall. Yeah, there it is. That's the flank. It's two options. Either plant soft wall, hold angles, try and trade, or one guy backsteps, two people on the front side.
Cryan's got 25 seconds to get through garage.
He's gotta go.
He absolutely has to go, and he's got the attention of Onigiri, which means that Mark will be in a 1v2 on site. You got to trust Kanto to be able to get this done. And I mean, Kanto actually doesn't get either of the remaining kills, despite being in the middle of the bomb site. But you trust Cryan and you trust Spoit. 5-2. For Koi on their own map. The unpredictability that we'd hoped to see for Elevate has been present, but not as successful as I think they, or frankly us, wanted it to be.
No, you're correct.
I think what was his name? Mango Pango was a bit harder than this.
Trying to hear what Leankis was saying there. I couldn't quite tell. I think I heard.
I think he said Pengu, actually.
Yeah, I heard Pingu and I heard Blitz, but I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, I was like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, a little odd, but that's fine.
Top floor defense now for Elevate, so they have way less kind of mobility to work with. Typically for this top floor defense, you're stuck in corners and you kind of gotta pick how you want to defend this. Aggressively fight every single angle with scopes, or try and hide in corners far back, you know, let Koi get into the building, then try and take your fights there.
10 seconds remaining.
Deepak is showing off the Amaru. That's often used to try and plant out of CEO or go up Janitor's hatch for that chaos effect, but there's no Ying to really help this chaos thrive. Just like there is no Warden on the defending lineup. Onigiri is on the Echo, has information if a plant were to go down, so does Mark on the Solace. Those are going to be the two key operators for this round for the defenders. But Koi, they are going to go below. Going to try and play for map control.
Run through the garage.
Keep us strikes true.
Cryan is like probably one of the players in the game with the most amount of time spent in the garage on Bang, because when he plays Nuke, he always goes there. Last round with Nomad, he flanked it. Now on IQ, he's also entering the garage. You can go up the main stairs, server stairs, etc. If you're the Amaru, of course, you can go up a hatch. Because I believe that Deepak, yep, inside of servers as well, gonna help Cryan get to his position first. Then he can make it his own path afterwards.
Reloading.
Creep his way up. I mean, you might ban the Nook from Cryan, but he's still gonna go the same route.
Nice and steady.
Or same route.
Yeah, the route route.
Route route, depending on where you come from. Data.
Yep.
Scarce scars.
Not that one.
Kanto has PTSD from that run out earlier on from DCH.
Yeah, I mean, when things like that happen, that is when players go, I need to worry about this because I already punished me once, I can't die to twice, it's spoilers and janitors out of nowhere.
And he gets Mr. Punch. Azami down. And with a minute 20 left, pretty close to having all those keepers out, I'm sure.
Surely.
Ideally.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a slow round, however. Koi kind of changing the pace from a direct aggressive round and basement attack into a we are everywhere and nowhere to be found second attack on top floor. And if Elevate moves too much, they can get caught in the crossfire.
There's that scouting. Deepak knows it all too well. Amaru crouch walking her way in. Not too far off inside of main lobby is the Soulless of Mark. Will go towards the windows. Kanto will be taken out if he doesn't watch. Yeah, they're getting the rings on it right now, but there's that advertisement that's actually in the way. Who says marketing doesn't work? Keeping Kanto Ricchetti alive, at least for now. Not for long. Mark takes him down. Kanto must have known that, but Deepak is there to have his teammates back, and there's a hatch right up into the elevator. DCH is about to be in for a jump scare of his life, but Spoit gets the job done before the Amaru can get up top. 20 seconds remaining, and Koi have a significant advantage. Match point is within their grasps. All you need to do is find Sapper and Onigiri. Sapper fires back, he gets the down onto Spoit. Here comes the Amaru. Onigiri reads into it perfectly. Elevator in great position to be able to rebuff this. It's a 2v2. Only Cryan is watching the plant go down. And Sapper bursts in! And he gets them both! Good Lord, Sapper! I don't think they have information as to where Spoit is, though. They don't know if they've downed him or not. But they've got so much time. They'll go for it anyway. Onigiri securing the kill earlier on. And Koi watching angles, but not watching the right one. What a performance by Elevate in the final 20 seconds of that round.
Yeah, Saber just 1 HP left, makes the hero play. And on the desk segment, Milos asked, who from Elevate have you been watching and who do you think will show up in this matchup? I noted down before this started, Saber ? That right there is an exclamation mark added at the end of it, because this is a beautiful flick. And the thing is, the trust from Koi was there, so much so that Ace assumed that his teammate won the gunfight and sprinted away because Saber wasn't even looking in the right direction. But Saber hit that shot and they got the second one for free afterwards. Beautiful round from them. Koi very slow to hit their punches. And the armor of D-pad going up that elevator hatch, I mean, essentially you're not even active with a gun because of your gadgetry, so you're a free kill in that scenario. And sure, Bump goes down, but it wasn't enough with Spoit also being injured just moments prior. An open area is up next for them. And they gotta feel good about that one. Bit of momentum in their sails. And DC Have's gonna bring out the Frost Sapper on the pulse. He said, I had fun last time with a great gun. Now give me a worse one, but give me more information to work with. Give me a C4 as well.
It's a very soothing sound, this cardiac sensor, by the way. Oh, there's the read. Does DCH fly off the top rope again? Yes, he does. I mean, we call that one the Jeff Hardy. Right off the top rope.
It's DCH Kento every single time to no end. But again, the active gadgetry,
Wow.
Leon.
This is where the mental boom for Rogue can come in. This unpredictability that we talked about from Elevate. Harder to pull it off on attack than it is on defense.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just, you know, you know, just like the Jaws theme song.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Just laying underneath the surface, just waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Because now it seems like Elevate are starting to play more of their game.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't help but notice that after the timeout was taken, Elevate won 1 round on attack, lost the round on defense, and then ended up winning it with a remarkable clutch. That in some way is because, you know, Koi didn't play it as, I guess, proficiently as possible, but still a clutch is a clutch.
Oh, that it is. I'd argue that every single clutch is...
A clutch.
That it is too, but it's always based off a mistake from the opponent, right? Very few clutches is you playing perfectly and the enemy playing perfectly as well. It's that there's a gap somewhere, you abuse it because you played very, very nicely, and then you find the opening, you get the clutch itself, you make a play, etc. So you want to tighten up the net in those like 1v1s, oh, sorry, 1v2s and 1v3s. If you establish a great crossfire, there's no gap to be abused, the clutch will not happen. If you play it sloppy, all of a sudden there's a chance for something crazy to occur. And now Koi, they're really falling apart right now. They're waiting, creeping around, not really progressing into the map at all. They are now, finally.
Oh, but Spoit looks the wrong way. Deepak is in, but Spoit's already dead. That's just a loss. Cryan will hit a goo mine upstairs. This has been a very slow and painful death for Koi. They've bled out over the course of these 2 minutes. I think Cryan can pull off a 1v3. I mean, he looked over to another screen. He's got confidence that this can definitely work. And he's got 30 seconds. If all 3 players from Elevate are in the bomb site, it's doable. But again, the same issue that Elevate had when they were trying to accomplish this on their attack is that this bomb site, and this door in particular, allows multiple crossfires. There is almost a 0% chance that Cryan gets through that door and can take out all 3 players, because all 3 of them are going to be looking right at him. And you'll see it. There'll be, yes, there you go. At least bullet tracers from multiple angles, but Onigiri is positioned far enough back that he can get it done without anybody else needing to move a muscle. Elevate have won 3 of the last 4 rounds. They are closing in on taking the lead away from Koi, who unsurprisingly will call their timeout.
We need to talk things through. It takes 30 seconds to kill one person. If we do that 3 times, we've got a minute and a half left to do the other 2. Take the time, slow it down, and talk more about what you want to do. Most teams counter their attack or defense when they put the lock. So I was expecting these guys to be hyper aggressive, and every single round so far, the moment you shoot that camera in heaven, he jumps out the window.
Yep.
So, do you reckon he's going to do it again?
Probably.
Alright.
Be ready
Take
for
your
this,
time,
guys.
talk through every step, execute for everything you need, okay? Take your time, you got this, easy peasy, let's go.
Yeah, it's all about, as you said, Parker, the unpredictability that Elevate is presenting themselves. I mean, maybe even kind of had a quiz moment saying, every single time you shoot that the Heaven default camera, he jumps out the window. Do you reckon he'll do it again? And Leon goes, probably. That's the thing. Elevate, what they're doing, it's working. And Meepy, the coach behind Koi, he recognizes it too. And a bit of a frustration there because Koi essentially in their own minds are losing to silly things, if you're gonna put it that way. Very small mistakes, sloppiness, and you gotta talk through every single step as a team and go through that checklist together. And it's Kanto who's been on the receiving end of those silly things more often not because it's DCH. He always plays a quote-unquote passive gadget operator as set and forget, right? Frost, Jaeger, puts down the gadgetry, jumps out a window, kills Kanto. It's worked 3 times now. Surely it's not gonna work again. Koi needs to punish these aggressions from Elevate or keep suffering the same fate. Oh yeah, there it is. Look at that.
Yeah, Kanto's frozen in place. Surely they don't do it again, right?
The issue is, this is too late to figure it out because, like, surely you don't do it again.
You know, it's like my father always said, 17th time's a charm.
17 times the charm?
Yeah.
Well, when you
Kanto will win this time.
The 17th time. Thing is
hyperbole.
It's not happening this time.
Yes, I know. That's the
thing.
That's the joke.
Okay.
We're learning humor together. It's very nice.
We have different humors, right? I was thinking, because you can everything hockey. You get 16 goals in hockey sometimes, no?
I make very little hockey references in comparison to...
Which is surprising to me. Do you not like your national sport?
I do, but I also think that most of the audience doesn't watch hockey, so I try to make like more basketball and NFL references because I know that that's what the bulk of people probably watch from North America.
That's fair.
You know why? Because I try to be good to the people who are watching, Nick.
And we all appreciate that very much.
I want to be as accessible to the audience as possible with my references.
That makes sense.
Thank you for understanding. Pivotal round for both of these teams. Elevate wins. It guarantees us all 12 rounds. We go the full distance, and Koi also surrenders their lead. Elevate took round number 1. Since then, Koi has led the entirety of this match. That could change here if they are not careful. They have allowed Elevate to overpower them on a number of the last couple rounds, and Elevate look like a rejuvenated team because of that. Now it's Koi who took the timeout. Can they settle down their nerves and get some strategy going? Well, Onigiri just lighting up Spoit, getting the down. They also have Cryan will try to recover, and Onigiri will peel off, maybe re-engaging. But this is a tough spot to be in.
Oh yeah, I mean, Cryan's a smoke grenade, could pop it, go for the revive. Or shield. Oh, at the very last second of the deploy action, Spoit gets found and caught off the board. And that is going to slow down Koi significantly. And there's only 40 seconds left to go. I mean, this round is practically over into time. You have to go right now, otherwise the clock will be your biggest enemy.
And Cryan's still in this spot.
Place the talonade.
These are two incredible gunners, by the way. But, oh, Cryan is just better. A miraculous shot. No way. Leon Gids doesn't see DCH. But then he does. It certainly looked like that would have been a free kill for Elevate. There go the Candelas. Mark, a nice shot onto Cryan. That totally pushes away anybody inside a garage with Kanto Racketti's in the middle of the bomb site. 10 seconds to go. He has to take engagement. Sloppiness on intel. Leon Gids in a desperation of a 1v2. And Elevate ties the game.
5-5. And that's right off Koi's tactical timeout as well. That's gotta sting. Basement attacks is not working for them today. I mean, they won the very first one. It was sloppy. And then this. Cryan steps to the left. Spoit swings far right. And Onigiri exposes himself unnecessarily to Cryan after he gets the initial kill. And it gives Koi a way into the round. Kanto Racketти had full A bomb site control for about 30 seconds. But Koi could not react upon it. They could not get the bomb down as Leon gets had the diffuser on the garage/main stairs side. Elevate, they will go upstairs. Last time they were successful, it was all up to Sapper in a 2 versus 2 essentially, but he found both of those kills. Did not need any help.
My. I mean, I guess that's foolish for us thinking that this was over before it was. I mean, the side swap obviously made a huge difference here in what is now a very lopsided defender-sided Bank. At the start of today, Bank has been played 4 times, and it's almost 50-50 in terms of rounds won for attack and defense. 49% of the rounds played have been won by the defenders, 51% by the attackers. Only 1 bomb site is defender side, and that's Locker's CCTV.
Yeah, that's not a big surprise there, to be honest. Basement bombs isn't in general across most maps at defender side because you can't do as much vertical destruction. You can sit tight on bomb side, you can roam a lot around the map, etc. No difference here. Leon actually smiling a bit there, despite taking so much damage, saying, ah, this guy's annoying me. Gets away alive though. No thing in the board, no heals available. It's a similar lineup from the side of Koi for this attack as last time. Deepak on the Amaru. Last time went up that elevator hatch into his own demise. Same kind of entry points as well. The setup is there for Koi, right? Kanto's doing the thing on the window, repels the bomb site. Deepak and Cry in the basement. And then Koi's, or sorry, Sport rather, is a +1 on Heaven side. Onigiri though, with active information on the Echo, knows Kanto's alone, could just jump out, take the kill, run back in through lobby or somewhere else, take the 1-for-1 worst case. Or just tell good old DCH to jump out that window one more time.
You know, it's like my dad always says, 18 times a charm.
Don't go here again.
Deepak is up, up, and away. He'll see the rotate that's been created. But nobody nearby.
No one's really acting right now. I mean, Koi wants to sit up. They're missing Leon, Gitz, and Sport to be in the right positions. And Elevate, they're happy to wait right now and let them get close before acting themselves.
Only time that this bomb site has been played by Elevate was a victory back in round number 8. That was the insane clutch that we saw from Sapper. Deepak on the hunt. He capitalizes, starting off the round, and there's a hatch as well with his name on it. Kanto dies farther away. Onigiri holding court with that suppressed MP5 of the Echo. Launching towards Banana. It's a very powerful position to be in. He can watch whatever breaches might appear on those panel walls leading into square. He can watch windows, and then he can watch towards the top of main stairs.
Deepak could throw a flashbang through that crack and then go up the hatch with Spoit assisting him, and so he does.
That's exactly what happens, and Spoit is there for the 1-2 punch onto Mr. Punch. Sapper playing these bulletproof angles, these shots through the wall that allow him a greater line of sight. Onigiri dies to Deepak. Koi have boxed Elevate out of the bomb site. DCH's attempts to get back in ain't gonna happen. 3 kills from Koi give them that point.
Yeah, buddy. Inhale. Right.
Let's go.
Much better.
Bro, get me on lurker, what?
Get me on lurker. Give me look.
Bro, I fucking made a hole in janitor, flashed, and then I'm out up.
Yeah.
Makes you want to do it. Yeah, buddy.
Deepak did play that nicely. Broke the ceiling, tossed the flashbang, went up. Still up in the last time. Koi attacked from the same side as well, instead of being so spread out and isolated. They get the job done. Elevate, while they did have information early on, and Onigiri did take down Kento Katie on the window repels, they don't ever seem to have any yokais available for the plant when it goes down from Leon Gitz. And Koi, they keep executing with less than 10 seconds on the board. I mean, there was a real chance at one of those rounds where you deny the plant with the yokai in 0 seconds and the round becomes yours. Instead, because it's not an option, Elevate, they're forced to take the gunfights. That is where Koi they thrive, especially when they have the man advantage in numbers, which they did in that previous round. And things are not changing up that much, operator-wise. Things are staying relatively the same. Deepak wants information, goes on to 0. Your Swiss Army Knife Operator, great gun with the buff to the muzzle brake, or sorry, to the extended barrel rather. 15% more damage, can opener, secondary hot breach, and 4 SAM cams for information gain. Whereas Elevate, well, Saber does like the pulls, has brought it 3 rounds now so far. And more traps being brought as Mark is now on Captain duty with DCH and Frost.
Well, they like the Legion pick from Elevate as well, right? And anything to slow down Koi, because as much as we've been focusing on Elevate's ability to get in the building quickly, Koi can do exactly the same. And I mean, look at that. Kanto thought he had something, but he didn't. Nope. And down he goes. But they answer back. DCH will die. Maybe not the same player that was involved in that first skirmish, but you lose one both ways. Again, though, DCH tends to play these operators with passive gadgets. So DCH is just a warm body more often than not, and you're not losing a ton of utility when he goes out of the action.
You are correct. I mean, if you look at this, besides the poles, I mean, you can argue 50-50 or like besides the poles, no one really has any active use gadgetry. So anyone can just fight anywhere they want, jump out, play aggressive, take fights, etc. And it is also always a worthy trade, I think, for Elevate. Trade 1-for-1 right now against Koi. It's worked out for them so far. Good C4.
Wonderful C4 on to Spoit. Koi, after taking their time out, have struggled to get something going. They got around, but they didn't have that same confidence that I think they wanted from it. Mark has now been pushed off of his position as this Koi squad looks for yet another kill, and they've got him trapped inside of the elevator. Mark has no way out, and he knows that. It's a simple gunfight of him versus Cryan. Leon Giggs now in the action. Onigiri has actually created an opportunity and takes out Deepak as well. Look at this sloppiness from Koi. They don't expect the unexpected, and that's the #1 rule of playing against APAC.
Beautiful escort there. I mean, Leon's on the side, but you can't plant right now. Nope, he's not even alive any longer. Trying a 1 versus 4 to clutch it up.
And he's not going to be able to do that, I'm sorry. This is the same situation he was in before, but it was a 1v3. He knows how hard it is just to get into the bomb site, let alone get a kill. And he's reduced to absolutely nothing. A single HP. This is Koi's map, by the way. And Elevate have just sent him to overtime.
Like I'm calling this whole time.
Okay, so Rogue, Elevate. The position that they find themselves in now is that it's a very even matchup, and these rounds are defined by very specific things. It's always a trick up Elevate sleeve, a C4 below, a window jump out, but more importantly, Elevate are successfully trading the past 4 rounds in a row. Not many words from Koi, rather. Sorry. Basements open up again.
I think that's an easy one to make.
Oh, that one's tough.
I keep wanting, just on force of habit, to also refer to them as the old name of the organization. For those of you that haven't really followed, Rogue and Koi effectively merged into just Koi. So if you're wondering, oh, where is Rogue? I want to watch them play. You are watching them play. It's the same team and very similar organization, just different name and obviously different personnel behind the scenes. And different branding. Just as we see the same with XSET and M80.
Correct.
A former co-founder / COO of XSET. I actually don't know if he was a co-founder, but he was one of the co-leaders of XSET. Created M80, and the roster has moved on over there. And it's, again, it's a very similar situation. Either way, just so people know.
Just so they know.
Just so you know. Information is power. Oh, Mr. Punch is going to lose that deployable shield, and with it, make Holding Blue much more precarious, but pocket gadgetry. 2 ADSs in pocket for DCH. Remember what we said about persistent gadgets? If he had died early on, those 2 ADSs would have gone with him.
They have a spare shield. Look at it. Boom. And we're back in business, baby. Mark ran all the way from like the garage of basement to server stairs and put down that shield. DCH put down 2 ADSs as well. And it's almost like it never happened. Now, Koi, they know they got the shield and they're going to be very happy with that. But when they show up to the server stairs and they join it again, they're going to realize they got to clear it one more time.
I thought you said you got the shield.
Yeah,
I did.
He's like, I did. I mean, I swear. Gonna watch the VOD back, but like, God damn it, I did get it. Told you, Leon.
I mean, think about it, though. A single Rotero drone just caused all of that. So that's still good value.
Oh, it is. Certainly. And
yeah, there you go. Cryan's done with the information. And I don't know if there's a look on his face. It was like, hold on a moment here. What in the Sam?
He's like, David, I need you. I'm coming.
What in the Sam is going on down there?
Should be relatively easy and straightforward, though. You just jump in, pop it midair. Yeah, good flashbang here as well to bait it out.
And another Rotero drone is going to clear all this out. ADS is gone, shield gone, a toxic canister thrown out by Mr. Punch just to slow them down. Hatch has now been opened, which means that Mark, who's playing by server just below that hatch, will be spotted as he tries to escape. Final toxic canister is out of the pocket of Mr. Punch.
And they're going to fight it. Elevate, normally when that server hatch gets opened up, you gotta fall back to bomb site and fight it there, or you stay inside a server and server stairs and take that 2v5 essentially that you'll see. Flashbangs and nades available. Elevate, they gotta get aggressive.
Mr. Punch has a shotgun, and that thing can do some serious damage. Mark will be the next focus after Mr. Punch has moved off, and Mark is an excellent spot. He takes down 2. Mr. Punch gets one of his own. Koi just completely lost the plot to this round. Final 20 seconds now for this Koi squad to get something going. Elevate sitting so pretty. Kanto slays Onigiri. Another player from Elevate just to his left can outduel DCH. Deepak can pull off clutches, but how about this? A 1v4, 10 seconds to go. Miles away from the bomb site. Mr. Punch will slow him down, but that's about it. Deepak gets ended by Mark. Elevate moved to map point.
8 successful. I said 2v5 because you're fighting the entire team, but there were 2 members of Kanto and Deepak on the open area hatches, but a 2v3 essentially. Played beautifully. I mean, Mark hit the flick of his life. That shuts down Koi dead in their tracks. And yeah, you can choose, as I said. Either you fall back from servers or you hold it. They fought for it, and they did so very well done to them. Not a lot of mouse moving from Koi right now. They know they're in a tough position, but they do get to defend now. They choose to go for open area. And attacks seems to be where things are falling apart for both teams right now. It's where they find the least amount of rounds in terms of round victory success, but also it's where both teams just look the weakest. Both Koi and Elevate are relatively slow in their attack inside, and small things are not going in their way, and therefore they lose the rounds. Elevate, I'll give some credit to them. They've been trying out so many different styles of attacks, whereas Koi have kind of like their staple 2 to rotate between. Onigiri showing the finger, then the Ash, now the Blackbeard, now the Puck. He's really going through the operator pool right now. And Mark even showed us a Grim, but it will be back to a more stable lineup here. No shenanigans, no tricks up their sleeves. I'm gonna say open area is a serious bomb site. We'll give it a serious operator lineup to counter it.
All right, back where we started. Deepak scouting with the Yokai drone. This was early in the matchup. We started this match almost an hour ago. It's not bad timing. 13 rounds in. Onigiri, the very first kill. Koi were up 5-2 at one point, and now Elevate leads, and they find themselves 4 kills shy of sniping their opponent's map.
Yeah, I mean, this is... look at the desk, what they were saying an hour ago, right? Like, this is Bank, this is Koi's map, this is where they win. The next map, rather, Chalet, yeah, is where things get dicey. But this right here is Elevate saying, Bank might be your map, but we are going to take it away from you and make things even worse.
Yeah, and as Demo said, Koi need all 4 points at minimum.
Yeah.
Well, might be a bit of a tough thing to do if you can't win your own map.
Still possible, of course, but things are looking grim as Leon fell early in the round, and so does Cryan with that injure.
What a read through the wall as he gets droned out, Cryan downed. Another body from Koi. Hits the floor. Elevate closing in up top. They need to secure the kill on Cryan. Half of the round gone. Deepak will get him back up after he's dropped down, and now Spoit will also abandon that top floor. Cryin will be worse for wear. There go the proximity alarms. Spoit just playing the waiting game right now. Some of open area will be opened up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've taken the top floor. Bomb sites in open area. Koi running with the one bomb site that they won both times in their original defense, Nick.
You see, Koi, they aren't really fighting anymore, right? The pressure might be getting to them right now. They're folding back every single time they strike some presence on the map. And I mean, Spoit is literally in a corner, holding a hatch drop, maybe looking for a drone. Elevate, they got 30 seconds, so the clock's a problem, but they got numbers advantage.
Yeah, you cannot stall out here. Nade goes in, the remainder of Cryin is found. It just took a while for Koi to get it. Now it's DCH to take some damage. Both teams firing back. Koi needs to slow this down as best as they can, and Deepak under fire. Kanto down for the count. Spoy the only one on Koi that's still at full HP, and he makes it work with 3 kills. Cannot get more than that.
Oh, the Yokai.
The Yokai drone is still up. They'll go hunting for the final kill on Deepak. He knows it's coming.
Oh, the nade!
But the nade is dropped on him. It doesn't do it in time. What is this match, Nick?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's correct. If that grenade is cooked like half a second longer, it rolled the other direction, that could be the end of the round for Koi, but they live. Just at least for one more round, the final round of Bang. Spoity was the hero that they needed. Stuck in the corner, sure, but still striking back, finding these important kills in the round. Diffuser management not there for Elevate, and even if it was, Koi, they checked all the boxes. The Yokai was there to shut it down, even if they attempted it. Deepak, surprisingly sitting on 12 kills, the most for Koi's side, while doing the dirty, unsexy work of droning, holding cameras, trading it out, but also playing rather proactively on the map on the attacking side, which is where they currently are, finding themselves. Open area back-to-back for both teams. It will be the final bomb set played.
Yeah, no matter what, this is it. This is the end of the road. You and I had some predictions before we got into the matchup. Basically saying, you know, what's going to happen here? Are Elevate going to show up like we saw CAG, like we've seen other APAC teams, and just be wild and unpredictable?
Yeah.
And frankly, stun the teams that on paper should be better. I mean, Koi is a major champion winning team.
Yeah, 6 months ago.
They should be the better team in this matchup. Bank is not showing that yet.
No, it has not. And there's a couple of teams that has that kind of name tag on them. Expectations should be good, but then they aren't. Heroic, obviously, as well. People are Wolves from UL. People are like, when are you guys gonna do what you're supposed to be doing? Meanwhile, APAC, the one thing we always associate with them is upset, create something or make something crazy, make a team sad, send someone home, or, you know, not make it past groups that you want to. Default Chem is being shut out from Koi. Progression to the map. Cryin loses the engagement. Missed the punch, comes out on top. It's 5 versus 4 in favor of Elevate.
Oh man, these opening kills have been breaking so even for both teams. Yet in overtime, every opening duel has gone in favor of Elevate. And look at how quickly this tempo is being set by Koi. But Elevate shutting them down at the pass. Kanto Raketti gets his revenge on DCH. That's been a grudge match that's been happening all matchup long. No Lion means that you don't have to worry about being held in place at this moment. That's good news for Elevate, as they've gotten that first pick. And again, DCH running on those persistent gadgets. A Frost being down means the deployable shield's already been placed, you're good. Those bear mats have already been placed, you're double good.
Is there a triple good to be found here? The question so far has yet to be answered. Onigiri making a rotate, can now advance the bomb side. Rebarricade the window is smart, no one can flank late in the round. Koi, as the attacking team, they have to strike first to create opportunities and find openings. Elevate can sit back and wait for that to happen and strike when they see a counter.
And there it is, one from Sapper. We straight it out, Spoit will get him back. These teams, as close as the scoreline is of the 7-7, this round in particular, being equally close.
3 versus 3. Second, the hop bridge is inside of Dapex's pocket. They can open up that bottom wall of heaven if they want to.
Attackers have located
Look at this, Mark has a flank coming in.
recovered the bomb diffuser.
When it's a 3v3 and you got the operator lineup that Koi has, the only real thing that's going to work as anti-flank are those Argus cams, depending on where they've gone.
That wasn't the clone.
That was the real Spoit. And they let him go right by. There's the clone. Down goes Mr. Punch to Deepak. Spoit will wander in. Mark will be the difference maker. Deepak the drop to go on in. Down goes Spoit. Oh, now Mark gets caught out by Kanto Raketti. Onigiri, do you have magic in those fingers of yours? Deepak takes some damage as he walks through the Capkin trap. Oh, Onigiri needs to check to his left. He doesn't do that.
Let's fucking go!
Boy, oh boy, that was a tense one for Koi. 8-7, they take their map. But Elevate make them bleed for it.
Oh my god, that really came down to the wire. I mean, a half a second, maybe less, and you can basically kill Deepak on the planet, win on 0 seconds. Mark had a bit of a whiff on the main stairs from basement. Oh man, I'm excited for Chalet. That's all I'm gonna say.
I cannot wait for Chalet. If Bank was that close, and now we go to Elevate's map, anything can happen. The players are gonna take a quick break, and so are we, before we come back and see, does Koi take it 2-0? Or does Elevate topple them on their own map? We'll see. Be back in a few minutes.
I'm Nicholas Morton, but you know me as Pingu. I'm a 2-time Rainbow Six Siege World Champion and former top Rainbow Six Siege player in Pro League. Welcome to my Siege Ranked Bootcamp. We're talking 20 seconds left on the clock, you got the diffuser in hand, what do you do? Play the way that you're comfortable with, because you have confidence when you're in this position, that is when you're gonna be at your very best. Good luck.
a very exciting first map between Elevate and Koi. Koi, you will probably know them as Rogue. If you're just tuning in for the first time, Rogue and Koi either, I don't know the official terminology, so I apologize to Koi if you were watching this, but whether it was they were in a partnership originally and then I believe they just got bought out or merged into Koi. Either way, they were Rogue, they are now Koi. It's the same team, same major champions.
I was gonna say, you're Berlin major champions, yeah.
You're Berlin major champions. Just a different logo and a different name. This was Rogue's map. Koi's map. It's bound to happen.
Yeah, it is.
You get it out of the way on the first cast, and then you're good to go. But for so long, this was one of Rogue's best maps. Now it is one of Koi's best maps, and it didn't look it, frankly.
No.
There weren't a ton of mistakes that we saw from this Koi squad. There were a couple rounds where, yeah, their coordination on attack, not particularly great. There were some times where they were very messy in their post-plant, whether it be a retake on defense or sitting on the diffuser, and this one in particular is what I was thinking of. Sapper popping out of Janitor and then just taking out the trash. Very well played on his end, and very well played on all of Elevate's end. Now, going into this matchup, Elevate only had a 19% amount of attacking rounds won. Elevate won 2 of their 6 rounds on attack, 2 of 7 technically, because there was that one round in overtime. So at least they're doing about as well as they want, but this was a very defender-sided bank because then Koi did the same thing. Koi won 3 rounds on attack. So not a huge difference here. For a coin toss map, this bank was very defender-sided. We now turn our eyes to Chalet, a map that will play so incredibly differently from bank.
Yes, but the one thing it does have in common is that you can really easily start struggling against those really aggressive plays, which Elevate were doing time and time again on bank. So in a way, yeah, it plays out very differently, but the problems that Koi might be facing are going to be very similar, assuming that Elevate will play that same kind of style. And given how close bank was, going all the way to 8-7, I don't think Elevate has to change many things around. They should by default be playing a little bit better, more comfortable, because they're finding themselves on their own map pick versus Koi's. Operator bans, they might not need to change either, because Nuke gets taken off the board, so does the Dokkaebi, both teams doing the same thing they did last time.
Spoke about it on the bank matchup that Cryan competes for the title of one of the best Nooks in all of EU, possibly even the world.
Yes.
Now, while Nook's strength on Chalet might not be the same as it is on Bank, Bank could very well be one of Nook's best maps, depending on who you're talking to, but by and large, we tend to see a disproportionate amount of Nook play and Nook bans on that Bank map because of its size. I guess if you're Elevate, you still just don't want to deal with it. Ban out the Nook, you don't have to worry about it. And then you don't allow Cryan to play it. Doesn't matter whose hands it's in. Would you look at those operator bans?
Are they the exact same?
They're exactly the same.
Yeah, although I think the one difference to double check here, it was Koi who banned Mira last time. So they flipped the defender bans, but overall it's the same ones that go through. So both the Asami and Solace are able to be played.
That's the same bans.
Didn't I know that Koi banned Mira? Now Elevate banned Mira. So they're this. Oh, I noted wrong. That's what I did. I literally just noted wrong. Oh well, that's my bad.
2023 Esports Awards Analyst of the Year nominee, Pengu, everybody.
Actually, wrong. Not analyst, color commentator.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, different. It's not the same thing.
I booed it when I was there. I booed when you went up on the screen. I went, boo!
That's fair. I respect it.
And then when I was up there, I also booed. Just to make things even.
I mean, to be fair, what is this saying is like, if someone's, you're doing something right if you have haters, essentially, right? So
if you're getting a reaction, you're doing something right.
Okay, that also works.
If you're getting an immense amount of praise or if you're getting an immense amount of hate, at least you're getting a reaction and getting people invested. The worst is when you get no reaction at all.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Because then it means that your content is just not captivating. Just like Sport was captivated by the beautiful eyes of the castle of DCH.
I believe it was Sport and Onigiri getting the kind of like the MVPs of map 1, essentially.
That is correct, and it was DCH and Kanto Raketti who were in a battle to the death.
Yep.
Mutually assured destruction, I think you could call it, with the way that they kept engaging each other on bank. The unstoppable force meets the immovable object. How many cliches do you think we can just toss into
Keep tossing them out.
Just heaping them on. It's like when you go to a buffet and it's like you're just scooping it. You're just
scooping
like,
one more.
Come on, you got to share that. Either way, DCH starting things off. Elevate starting things off strongly. This is their map. It's a close one. They came a single round away from toppling Koi on Koi's map pick. Now it's Elevate's map. Are they going to be good enough to put this one away?
I like the pace here from Koi. They're going faster. The two terms or words I would use for Bang was slow and sloppy. Right now we're going fast, but still a bit sloppy as we're falling by the wayside relatively quickly here. Only give it a second kill on the board. That soft wall towards the bomb side being challenged. Look at this. He's not stepping down. He's fighting every single chance he gets.
And he gets another one on to Kanto Raketti. Koi might have been fast to get into the building, Nick, but not well placed in how they are able to do that. They get in. This is fast and sloppy.
Yeah. Honestly, yes. Onigiri, he went from bomb side, now he's retaking the chimney position, back into dining, it's Mr. Punch. Deepak finds 2, but there's 3 more to be found with 50 seconds on the clock. We've seen this a couple of times on Bank, and typically, Elevate, they don't throw these. They've gotten a lot better. APAC as a region, I will say, has gotten a lot better at playing those 1v2s and 1v3s and actually winning out those rounds.
The biggest stumbling block that APAC was facing at the beginning when they were first introduced to pro play all the way back in 2017 was coordination. Yep. They often acted like individual players who weren't a part of a unit. And with that coordination, they would often overpeak or they would often overcommit or over-engage. And when their coordination started to get better, so too did their patience. There's no way Deepak wins this. No, he doesn't. Sapper's waiting around the door frame. Down Deepak goes. 2 kills, but they're completely impactless. Round number 1 goes to Elevate.
Master Bedroom defense as well. It's very... So essentially, Master Bedroom was not played almost at all in the last like 2 to 3 months across most regions. But now every region at this event, they seem to play it first or second in rotation on Chalet, which is, again, just those small meta changes where, okay, teams are now playing a more aggressive Chalet, which is something that W7M kind of began actually when they were coming up domestically in LATAM and then started going to international tournaments. Everyone was praising W7M's skill level of how well they played and how differently they played Chalet. And other teams are finally starting to look at that and go, we can learn from this. We can take some bits and bobs here, make it our own in a different way, and then we can also play it. So Master Bedroom getting some more life brought back into it. And its play rate significantly increasing these last 3 days. In terms of win rate, I'm scouting for it right now because I am curious.
Are we talking Chalet?
We're talking Chalet, Master Bedroom, 50-50 so far.
I have those numbers in front of me. You could have just asked me, you know. I'm sitting right next to you. You could literally see.
I wanted to scout my... You do so much work for us, Parker.
Look at that. Now look at... See? So how you saw the stats on my screen.
Yeah.
Same as your screen.
Yeah. You're right.
Chalet 56% overall. Yeah. Wine cellar / snowmobile, basement bomb site, attacker favored, kitchen dining, the most defender-sided bomb site, bar gaming, also defender-sided, and that master office that you talked about upstairs, 50-50. And that was not a 50-50 round.
That was not a 50-50 round, no. But 50-50 for Master Bedroom is a very high win rate if you were to factor that in the average of last 3 months. So people are playing it more commonly and winning it more as well. So big success. Koi got to deal with Elevate members. It's a library now. Asami's on the board and in active play. This is often why you see Asami being banned out on Chalet, because it makes it a nightmare to attack most areas of the map, especially around the library area. However, these Retero drones will do a great job at helping eliminate those keeper barriers.
Flash goes out, and here is the focus. It's going to be on the Onigiri.
Oh,
and it misses. That's a tough corner to attack, to be fair.
Yeah, it is.
We've seen fire arrows go in and miss. We've seen nades go in and miss, and that's exactly what just happened. Hope you have tinnitus, or hope you don't have tinnitus, because that's what you hear all the time. That's what I hear all the time. A constant ringing in your ears.
I hope you have tinnitus.
I hope you don't have tinnitus. I'm sorry. I did not just wish tinnitus on all of you.
That is awful.
Yes, I know. It's dreadful. I hope none of you get it. But either way, there was tons of tinnitus from Onigiri. And look at how much damage was done to him. Practically none. Now, back when the meta was different, the spot that Onigiri's playing inside a library would be empowered by a Thunderbird. But Onigiri, well, he's not going to be that long for this Earth. Wait, maybe. He just might be. No, he's gone. Spoy walks in, picks up 2 kills, gets right out. Koi leading the way in the kill feed. 5 players left in the server, 1 minute to go. The advantage goes to Koi by 1.
Just barely. I mean, Spoy's almost dead.
Don't say just barely. We saw a clutch on 1 HP from Sapper
Okay, that's
in just
fair.
the last match.
That's fair. They got the advantage. Done deal, period. 2v3, however, not a bad look for Elevate on this bar defense. It is very holdable for them. 35 seconds, D-Back has lobby control. 2 members of Koi upstairs. Sapper and Mark against the world.
They've got information, though, at least from that one goo mine. D-Pack continuing to take damage. Now it's Spoit's turn to step into the goo mine, and Mark will capitalize on 1. Gets them both! Good Lord, Elevate!
Woohoo! Looking a lot better. The decisiveness from Elevate right now is honestly their biggest strength, because it looked like, okay, do they swing or do they not swing? I wasn't sure, but the moment that Mark swung, he swung a second time, and his teammate was there to cover his back as well. It's a great injury from Spoit in particular on that library take, but Mark, again, the aggression continues, and it just follows up time and time again. And it was Onigiri who was granted the quote-unquote MVP for map number 1. But honestly, Onigiri, Sapper, and DCH, and Mark all had a lot of good moments. Messed the punch as well, not as many should I say, but every single member from Elevate showed up. Honestly, when it comes to Koi right now, it's a matter of nobody really stepping up. Kento had a bunch of kills, but also died so many times first man outside the building. And sure, there's DCH jumping out. But it's Kento finding himself in that particular position way too often. Leon gets played 1 round of Sense on Bank, died immediately. We never got to see any sort of execute. With Sense and Ying on the board, combined with the Lion, once you hit the bomb site itself, you can really make it messy. Cut lines of sight with the wall, smokes, candelas go flying. Of course, the Lion charge will stop any defenders from moving in most of those scenarios. First, we gotta get there. The site is far away. Roam clear should be underway first. Kento on the bathroom window. And Crying on the office door, looking to cut this bomb site, or sorry, the upper stairs of office in half. Gone 6 rush, question mark?
Leon Gids is down, crawling away, and Koi is in the building. Mr. Punch the first kill, Spoit answers right back. Kanto and Leon Gids are both down. Because the Adrenal Surge had gone off, Kanto will likely have to wait for the gadget to recharge, and it should get both of them back up. But oh no, Kanto's in a frost mat.
Yep. No can do.
Spoit's recoverable. Or Spoit's there, and Kanto's recoverable. There we go. Leon Gids is back up on Sens. Very limited Sens play that we've seen here at the event. Same with Grim. There's 2 new attackers, not seeing as much of a play rate as they want. There goes the rest of Leon Gids. Elevate at the moment, with Kanto now getting back up, find themselves ahead by a single player.
It's a good time to be a Fingal, however. Those Adrenal Surges will help you get a little bit better for these gunfights. But Elevate, they continue to impress in these advantageous positions. They're not swinging unnecessarily, taking high risks. They are playing corners and crossfires beautifully.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
It's been a very fast round. 3 casualties coming in the first minute of action. Smoke next to Mark. EE1D goes off, meaning that there's very likely to be an execute happening. You can hear the Candelas too. Within striking distance, Koi are but a few steps away from getting that diffuser down, again in the hands of D-Pack as it was retrieved earlier on. There goes Spoit, and now D-Pack will follow. Koi lose everybody but Kanto Raketti as Elevate look to go up 3-0. All they need to do is find this worm, Akanto on the ground, wriggling towards the end. And it is Elevate, running a perfect rotation on Chalet.
That is a tough start after a miracle of a bank. How close those rounds were. This is not close at all. It's a one-way win right now for Elevate. Tactical timeout has been called by Koi. See what they say.
Take your time. And if there's another guy in suicide, because they're going to go back to fucking if there's a guy in suicide like that, just fucking double jump in quickly. You don't have to flash and nade him around. At the end of the day, you're fucking better. You're all fucking better than those guys over there. They're winning by surprising you. Go back a fucking few stages. Were you surprised? The answer for this one is yes. But now you fucking know. Now you know that anything you open, they're going to swing. Wait for them. Counter them. Take your time. Take it slow. And talk things through first. Okay, boys? Let's go.
Let's go.
Same exact words of encouragement as on map number 1 of Bank is that you are better, confidence, play together, expect these things coming from them because again it's the frustrations brewing in the comms most likely and it's the same mistakes. So slow it down right now seems to be what Mibi wants, which is ironic because on Bank the attacks are going simply too slow. But it's not just a matter of slowing down in terms of how much time you spend. It's about taking that extra step, right? Check the corner. Okay, make sure that the teammate behind you. Make sure that you're not going in a little bit too eagerly into these first couple of rooms. Because it is in the very first room on the map that Koi choose to enter that things they fall apart immediately. This Elevate's map pick, we keep saying it, but it has value. You're expected to win your own map. With how close Bang was and how one-sided this is so far, it is almost guaranteed we'll see Border coming up as a deciding map. Unless Koi can turn this ship around. And with no more parachutes in their pocket, with that one tactical timeout being called for them, if Elevate can keep up this pressure and just keep on building these rounds, Koi has no way to really hit the bricks.
See how much a timeout can rejuvenate this squad here because, yeah, there are periods of time on Bank where things looked quite poor for Koi. Still ended up coming out with the victory on that 8-7 that we just saw. And they looked relieved, frankly. It's not one of those wins where you stand up and, oh, you know, it looks like you just fought a war. Koi looked like they were in pretty decent spirits for how close that match was. But now Elevate have made it so that Koi are not able to win this first half.
They can't. They can tie it, which is honestly for Chalet going 3-3 is not terrible by any means for either side, but and it's a slightly different favor right now, that 56% favor, but in the past it was attacker-sided. Basement attack with the Osa in play means you can try and get a plant down behind the Talon shields if you were to get enough control of the bomb set itself. So step 1 was the breach. Step 2 now, rotate to backside. Hit up the trench area and that big wall near the basement car garage hallway. Missed the punch up above, holding Westmain himself. And Leon has an idea that something might be happening behind him from the flank and trophy, but no, nothing's happening at all.
Over towards blue, Leon Gids in Westmain. Now it's Spoit attacking from the back. Spoit's in the bomb site. 1 minute to go. Kanto Raketti down for the count. They actually trade. Now it's Leon Gids found out from above. Spoit taken out as the retake from Elevate is pixel perfect.
Yeah.
4 kills in a row from Elevate to completely overrun this Koi squad. Timeout, not immediately working. Elevate continue their reign of terror as they're up 4-0.
Not just that, but the way that the round fell apart is actually, it's a bit of a blunder, in my opinion. Kanto went in from the trench breach with the hatch above him and dining being opened up, and it seemed like Koi just didn't even realize. Leon gets some harsh words as well. Wake up and listen. So now these are words of frustrations really coming through. And this is the harsh reality of being down in a losing position when you should be the team to win. And so I'm sure some people watching will be like, but Koi won the first map, it's fine. They can lose the Chalet, go on Border, you know, they're happy to go or whatever. That's not how this goes for competitive level of play. You should never be happy with being down 0-4, whether it's your map, their map, or a map you haven't ever played in a tier 1 competition. Now, just to really put out there, Koi, they have played Chalet before. even though it might not look like it right now. So that's not the case for them. But expectations for Koi are high. Elevate argue the same thing, but I think most people in this situation will be like, Koi should be winning this matchup. And because Bank was so close, that faith, it's slowly running out. And Elevate, even though they struggled themselves in the first map, they never looked like they were mentally out of the situation or arguing necessarily. Now, I don't speak their language, unfortunately, but their face is still a good story. They always look happy and in good spirits. Koi right now look a bit down.
I think the frustration is really telling.
No, it is.
Right? Elevate speed running this Chalet. We've seen that from a couple teams. No spoilers, but we've seen that from a couple teams so far.
Oh, God.
It's a zombie hold, by the way. It was something that was discussed on social media at the tail end of being one of the more innovative parts of SI. And it just puts you in such a rough spot as an attacker. Because by the time you use your explosive to open up that stairwell, got the pixel angle of whoever's playing behind it. And they've still held onto that position with the other Kiba barrier too. It's been a little bit of damage done to Mark, but that's about it. There's the nade. It should clean all of it up. But DCH is still there, and another one will go out, but he actually flubs it. That is unlucky. Another nade will go in. Two bodies will storm these library stairs, and that carbine can do so much damage, and DCH takes one down before Koi answers back with two of their own.
It's a good trade. But I mean, Koi, they need more than just this. The bomb site itself, of course, being fortified. Onigiri striking out from that soft one side of office. Also looking for a kill.
Mr. Punch's eyes not on his own screen.
They know.
Still looking at somebody else's perspective. The beautiful thing of LAN, being able to play off of your teammates. Deepak and Kanto Raketti, by the way, in position, watching where Mr. Punch is going to come from. Because of the advantage that Koi has in numbers, they can waste this amount of time. Mr. Punch will get flashed out, he'll get stunned, and there he goes. Cryin secures. Three separate players from Koi working together to punish one of the offsite players. The advantage that Koi has grows in a 4v2. Sapper and Onigiri sit up top, close enough to the bomb site to do some serious damage.
It's very well executed. When 25 seconds left, they can both go for a plant and go for kills. They have options right now. Onigiri and Sapper, they can't deny any plant. No C4, no verticality. This should be good for Koi.
There goes Cryin. I mean, it should be good for Koi, but you've got Sapper and you've got Onigiri, and Onigiri in particular is always a threat when he's on the battlefield. Leon Gids takes him down, so Sapper will need to clutch out. He did so on Bank. He has the calls, but needs to look long range. He gets it, and there's the timer, but he can't make it through the wall in time! It doesn't matter whether he gets through the wall because the bullets do the job. It's another clutch for Sapper, and another round for Elevate.
You gotta give Sapper the MVP at this point. I don't care anymore. This man is showing up in moments where it matters. The rotate wasn't even fully there. He couldn't go through. Had to go for the gunfight instead and a flick through the wall. Well done, Elevate. Well done, Sapper. And Koi, they capitalized well early on. The trade here in DCH, trading 1-for-1. That's a Koi special. Really well played together. Guarantees they don't lose the advantage. Then they picked up Mr. Punch in the basement together as well. But when Sapper plays like this, it really does not matter in the end. 5-0 up for Elevate. And at this point, with how things are shaping up, there is a question of, is it even worth fighting this out and try and go into what is likely going to be overtime for Koi? Because endurance and stamina, these things matter so much. But also, getting a 2-0 for Koi gives them 4 points. And both of these teams, they need these points. So it's either you say, okay, let's be in the best shape possible for Border, reserve our strength and energy, and our mental health for that matter, and go third map. Or really 110% fight out this extremely frustrating map of Chalet because of the 2-0 possibility. Tough call. Of course, no one's gonna give up. That's never the case at this level of play. But Koi, they have to start making this decision of how badly they think they can fight back on this map, because so far it's not a close map at all. Last time they had to clear out Onigiri from this corner. I think it was a different player actually, but same position. It was grenades flying in, missing their mark. Now we have the capital fire from Cryan as well. Nice Claymore kill to sap him that drone hole. Onigiri jumps out, does a bit of damage, but no kill goes through.
Honestly, even though it's a 5-0 scoreline, it's not been all bad for Koi in terms of opening picks and in terms of winning through that early part of a round. Again, the big issue for Koi seems to come towards the tail end of these rounds.
Yeah.
Elevate have lost both Sapper and Onigiri, the last two alive from the previous round, the first two to die here in this final defense for Elevate. Steepek off the board, and Cryan was almost stepping into the realm of death too. Only a minute's been burned off of the clock. Zazami, that's been played so far by Elevate, has caused some serious heartburn to Koi. First on Library Stairs, now this round, upstairs in Library itself. And DCH is clearing these lines of sights. So Spoit can't see all the way towards that library door with the way that he wants to. Have to drone it out.
Let's look at the utilities here. No nades from Spoit and Pocket, so you have Capital Fire to work with. You can use and jump on and take those gunfights, but Koi, they look.
Oh, Mark. Maybe not smart.
Changing mag.
Maybe not smart at all. DCH takes out Spoit. That was the battle up on Library that we were talking about. I don't know if Spoit just decided to vault in or not, but maybe not the most. Maybe not the most optimal plan. Nice play by Leon Gids to take out Mark downstairs in lobby. He was only on a tiny bit of HP anyway.
Yeah, that run from Mark ends up punishing him quite significantly. DCH could be the hero of this round, however. Of course, he's got his backline, missed a punch downstairs. And Koi, they can pick this apart. They have fire on Capital and smokes. No flashbangs, though. Cryan is so low on HP, he can't fight necessarily, but he's got that support.
Oh, that was a one-tap on the DCH, by the way. Mr. Punch in a 1v3. Doing his best Sapper impersonation, I'm sure, to clutch this one out. The clutch will start with one onto Cryan, 2 more to go. Leon Gids and Kanto will hunt him down. 15 seconds means the attackers will likely go for a kill, and there it is. Kanto looking the right way. Was it Leon looking the wrong way? Doesn't matter, you still get the kill into the back bar.
Yeah, let's fucking get this, boys. Use this energy to fuck these guys up right now on defense, okay? Let's not give them a fucking inch. Let's go kitchen.
They're gonna fight it.
You know how you climb Mount Everest?
1 inch at a time?
It starts 1 step at a time. Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
You gotta walk before you can run. And that's what Koi are hoping will happen here. Elevate taking the first 5 rounds. A couple of them in relatively heartbreaking fashion. Koi coming so close, yet might as well be so far. They finally get one on the 6th and final round to get themselves on the board and stave off a 6-0 first half, which it's possible to come back from.
It is.
We've seen teams do it. Is it likely? Certainly not.
No, I mean, if you're on match point, you're allowed 0 mistakes, which are bound to happen in a span of 6 rounds. At least now, you have 1 round you can mess up and then be flawless otherwise. Elevate played 1 round of Monty on Bank. They also played 2 rounds of Blitz. Their Monty round, there was also Onigiri on this particular operator. It was not very impressive. They walked in 1 room, stood still, lost the round. Monty got annihilated in a 1v1 by ADSing towards the opponent. And the biggest problem that Elevate had on Bank was they all came from the same side of the map and not really progressing with time as it went throughout the round. And now it looks like they are going to come in from the same area, bar library side. Monty should be going in first and progressing through the map, applying pressure upon his opponents rather. There are no C4s. Sorry, there is 1 C4 from Cryan below that could punish the Monty.
And there it is, and it does exactly that. The Montaigne was the target for that Nitro cell. It goes off, and down the Montaigne of Onigiri goes. I understand they like putting Onigiri on the Montaigne, but I gotta say, for the best mechanical aimer on the team, it always feels wrong to see them on a shield operator.
Yep. That it's Onigiri who has 10 kills. I mean, I always am behind this philosophy where if you're gonna play Monty, give it to your your lowest fragging member of the squad, because you're not gonna go for kills with the Monty, and you still want to have that aggression. In this current meta of Siege, every single team who's thriving right now, they all have gunners, they all have great mechanical aim, and Elevate, they too have it, but right now they're struggling with this Monty pick, trying to force it to work in a situation where I don't think that's the right approach. And just like on Bank, they lose Onigiri early, and now we're running around just kind of waiting for something to happen instead of creating those opportunities ourselves. Half the round to go. It's a dining defense. We've opened up the office wall as the first step. Candela will go on in, but can we follow up? Will anything happen from this? I don't think so.
Well, perfect time for Bravo Stream to join us. Hello. The other matchup that was going on over there has ended. Nice to have you all with us. If you missed the first map, I'd strongly encourage you to go back and watch it. It was Koi's pick. Yeah. And it was a nail-biter. This is Elevate's pick, and things seem to be going pretty normal for the team that should be excelling on their own map. Onigiri died early on to a Nitro cell. That's really been the only action. Well, right as I say that, all of a sudden Elevate is sweeping away with these Koi players. 2 picks very quickly on. Elevate need to use that momentum and get downstairs. Clear out those roamers who are playing down below. And then, of course, the players on the bomb site. Canto Raquetti doing battle with drones. Is that 3 drones that have been tossed his way? But he still dies no matter what. Mark walks in, down he goes. 15 seconds left and only 2 members of Koi. Cryan will wait out the flashbangs as he has his gadget up. And it's a huge play from Koi to take them all down, with the exception of Sapper, who's in the bomb site, but they have intel on him. And there's no way he's going to find both kills. The comeback for Koi is now towards 2 rounds. They've got 3 more to go to tie up Elevate. It was Elevate who came back on Bank. And yeah, it's a steep climb for Koi, but as major winners, they've shown they can get it done.
Yeah, and also some smiles on their face as well, so the mentality seems to have shifted just a little bit at least, which is good for them. The Frost Mat was one problem. The second is the Ying going for the punch towards that bulletproof camera instead of taking the gunfight instead. It looked really good for Elevate in that later half of the round, but when it really came down to the last 20 seconds, Koi, they come out on top. It's going to be one of these maps again, I think, just like Bank, where we're gonna go the distance. Elevate, they are struggling on their attacks, and we brought up on Bank that a 19% attacking win rate so far in this tournament, the lowest of the entire tournament, I believe. At that, they won 2 attacks on Bank. And usually they only win a single one. Now a single victory on Chalet would give them the match point, the 6 rounds. 2 attacking rounds, of course, would give them the map points.
5 seconds left.
Beat the averages.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
That's really what it comes down to.
Aim higher, better.
Beat the averages.
Defuse a bomb.
Can they accomplish it? Even in that round, the mid-round for Elevate was mighty good. It was the tail end of the round where Koi has struggled in the past.
Yeah.
That came forward to help them. So, again, it's not like you can always rely on a team being good in the end round or a team always being good on the entry. There's gonna be a time where round 2 or 3 ends up going in your opponent's favor. And honestly, in some of these instances, it does feel a little bit like Elevate has been gifted more late round clutches than most teams would against Koi. Some would argue that they make their own luck for Elevate. Oh, that's not quite, I think, how they wanted it to go. That Kiba barrier on the wrong side of the window, but.
And it can be tricky sometimes, throwing out those Kiba barriers in the spur of the moment, while also fighting things, avoiding things, etc. Having to worry about drones, always under surveillance.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Deepak looking out the window, almost at the halfway mark of this round. You've heard a lot of noise, heard a lot of gadgets be used, but not a lot of contact just yet. Which for both of these teams is a bit unusual, and especially given the pace of this match so far, which has been defined by how quickly both of these teams are getting in the building.
Yeah. Oh, good information there from Elevate. Knows a flank is about to be approaching. The question is, do you catch or do you wait? Yeah, he's walking away, so we leave him be. Cryan, of course, downstairs has a C4 in pocket, can do some damage from below if he needs to.
There goes that Kiba barrier. Spoy wanted to swing onto it. If there's anybody on that Koi squad that I trust to win a peek like that, it's definitely Spoit, but you can't peek a nade, can you, Nick? Down goes Spoit. First kill goes to Elevate, but that Nitro cell from Cryan does connect onto DCH, enough to down him. No withstand available for the Zofia anymore, so you'll bleed out, and there's no Fink on the board to get you back to full HP. Oh. Sapper actually misses the drop from Koi into main lobby. Now it's Cryan to the rescue. He and Leon Gids combined for 2 kills. What map control do Elevate have? Target is that Bar Gaming bomb site. Koi seem pretty nestled in. DCH has been picked back up. Final 30 seconds. Advantage in favor of Koi. This means that somebody from Koi could potentially go for a late flank if they're positioned in that direction. Deepak watching the hatch. This is a guaranteed kill unless Deepak botches every single shot, but he does not at all. Easy pickings on to Mark. Now it's the drop from DCH with Mr. Punch unable to get a single kill. It wasn't done by violence, it was done by time. And that's 3 in a row from Koi, who now themselves have put together an impressive performance. Timeout call from Elevate.
So Elevate trying to not fall too far behind.
They needed Spoit. They still didn't take anything. They are massive pushes. Double, triple drone, everything. Push it the last 10 seconds. Take your fucking time, boys. Think about it. Think about what you need.
Think about what you want to do. Elevate surely having a strategical approach to this, because they need to figure out why they aren't getting what they need.
Let's do this, boys.
Final words from Meepy, watch out for a rush. Arguably the easiest way for Elevate to break this barrier is to just slam the speed and go fast. They haven't really done it on Bank. Not really. But we know they're capable of doing so. It is basement, it's a rushable bomb site. Onigiri, you gotta go off that Monty, man. It's nothing personal, but you need gun power on this lineup. Or at the very least, if you go Monty, you gotta go for something direct because it's not working. Cryan is always gonna be downstairs with the C4. First round, he killed Onigiri and the Monty right off the rip. In that previous round, he got an injury onto DCH with the second C4. So far, a great record for Cryan. Few operator changes now from Elevate, going onto the Jackal, Ayana. And only Gear make up his mind. Thatcher seems to where he ends his rotation. So, Elevate are both suited for their own clear, and of course the breach opened these walls. The way most teams approach this is open up the main garage breach outside the building. That can be done with the Thatcher and Ace combo to combat these Kite Claws. Then you get a bit of bomb site pressure. You can't just freely roam around if you're caught in that case. Therefore, you have to surrender some of that roam game. Then you can choose what you want to do afterwards. Tons of options to go for a clear, to go backside, and there it is. It's going to be the Thermite and the EMPs. Of course, you see here, double EMP the wall. That ensures the Kite Claw does not trick you. It's a good job done from Elevate on that breach.
Sometimes something as simple as being able to shake off an Electric Claw, Bandit Batteries, certain Mute Jammers can be as valuable as a kill because it sets you up down the line to succeed even more in the round. And I know that we harp on it, but the scoreboard really doesn't tell the full story with how much a certain player can contribute to the team. In this instance, when you look at somebody like Spoit, most of his contributions are going to come from kills and an opening pick after Elevate's timeout to give an advantage to Koi. That's a pretty big contribution.
It is. Elevate, we gotta see now how they progress in this 4 versus 5. It's not Onigiri who falls first this time, it is DCH, but it's also your only grenades that are now gone. Elevate have information, but they can't act accordingly upon it. Sport finds a second onto Mark. Tough position now. Saber, he might just find Kento Raketti.
And he does, but it's Kanto who technically finds him. It's another pick for Koi. They haven't lost a player just yet. Can't say the same for Elevate. They're down to just 2 and 1 remains. Onigiri will fall down as Koi's comeback. Oh boy. Alive and well. No flawless rounds technically yet.
I would count this one. I mean, if Kento swings his window and dies, that's his fault, obviously, but I would say this is as close to a flawless as you can get.
Do. Onigiri's aware of the challenge ahead of him and knows that it is not something that can be overcame. So, not something you can overcome.
Both teams can talk about their next steps because this round is over, which means that they're gonna say what bomb site is Koi gonna go to next and what does Elevate think that they're gonna choose and therefore how they're going to combat it. They tried the Munty, they tried without the Munty, similar results, not working out for them. Koi have turned things around mentally. That's very evident in terms of their facial expressions. Now confidence also slowly, not slowly rather, it is definitely there. They're taking fights constantly and winning them. It's been a while for them. Saber on the Jaggle didn't really use the gadget much in that round. Almost stumbled into Kento Raketti, but as Parker mentioned, it was Kento who found him and got the free kill.
He got the drop on him.
He got a drop on him. You mentioned earlier about how you wished tinnitus and then unwished it upon everybody. What if there's an operator that could increase your hearing? Imagine how loud, like, annoying that would be, right? Like, you activate like Vitro, like there's a bar, right?
Right.
And everything is amplified by like 50%.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, with Tashanka's weapon, opening up a wall. You can't hear anything that you want to hear besides that. Don't do that, please. Like, don't even think about adding that operator in the game. I don't think it's gonna work. I'll be honest.
You excited for the new content coming, by the way?
I am actually. So I will say I actually have no idea what's coming, which means I'm very excited.
The last couple seasons, I will usually find out at the live events just a couple days beforehand.
Yeah.
Not that I really try to insulate myself from spoilers, but I don't seek them out.
Yeah.
And a lot of the accounts on social media that only do spoilers, I don't follow nor interact with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like SI every year is like a version of like Rainbow Six Christmas.
Yes, there's so much underneath that
if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
It is Sixmas because every single year SI will bring about a whole host of changes that have been worked on for a year, if not longer. Some of the changes at SI have been worked on for years, and they'll, you know, take a while for them to be in development. This year, I'm coming in fully blind. That's exciting.
It certainly is.
I wanted to try and do a tie-in reference to blind, but if you look on the right side of your screen, there's not a single flashbang. So no way for anybody on Koi to be blinded. Okay. I was really hoping for it. I didn't get it.
I like this. Oh, Onigiri taking so much damage. I'm not quite sure how. Must have been from gunfight. Spoiled with the flank from a second.
Koi suddenly picking up these 2 kills. Onigiri still very, very low. One beautiful thing is that Koi has 2 impact grenades and a nitro cell. And Onigiri is so low on HP that a nitro cell tossed near him will kill him, and an impact grenade thrown at him will also kill him.
I like.
You don't have a smoke. You don't have anything else that could deal with that. I guess maybe an evil eye could zap him.
All right, actually, yeah. Maybe said in the tactical timeout, you know, back in round number, that's a while ago. I should have done down a while ago, actually. That they double drone everything. So like, don't hide or whatever, and then Sport's like stuck hiding in a corner. Now it's Kento as well. So the whole double droning thing might have fallen apart. They recognized that last round. They're just kind of walking around the building. The downside of Munty is that sure, Munty might survive. He's fine, but the guns behind him, they start falling apart. Now that's some good Munty work. find the member, yellow ping, and then get the crossfire there. 3 versus 1, Kento goes down, but he gets a trade for his life. Good value for Kento. 30 seconds.
And if they keep trading, Nick, I mean, look at the numbers. Koi doubles up on them at this point.
Yeah.
And it's still only Geary on a tiny bit of HP. He's one of the 2 players left. You can hear him. A Bailiff could take him out as well. Just a couple bullets from that Bailiff would be more than enough. DCH is up above. Koi are hungry to tie this game up and win 5 rounds in a row of their own and try as best as they can. Elevate, unable to do a single thing. Only 1 kill over the last 2 rounds for Elevate. It's a defender-sided Chalet, just as it was a defender-sided Bank. And good God almighty, Koi have won 5 rounds in a row, and these teams are now on even footing at 5 rounds apiece.
Yeah, and these rounds are not going slowly either. Most of these rounds have been decided in the first minute and 30 seconds or so. Elevate, they just cannot get a single attack around, and that has been their biggest adversary at this tournament so far. The attacker win rate, and you can see it, they don't seem very confident or comfortable going through the map. It doesn't seem like they have a very well thought out plan ahead of time, and it's kind of figuring out as they're making their way through, and therefore they don't have a checklist. Monty goes in the first round, C4 below, no one's droning that. Okay, he dies. Second round they go off the Monty, 2 members, they die instantly on the entry. Okay, that doesn't work. In that round that we just witnessed, they got into library. Everyone's alive. Great. The moment they get towards this top 5 place chimney position, Onigiri almost dies with the Monty, and then Spoil's hiding top blue stairs, gets a kill, falls away. There's always something going wrong, or rather, something that Elevate on their attacking side that they miss. Whereas on their defense, they can play so chaotically against their opponents, and it works. But attack, you need structure. Or at the very least, if you want chaos, instead of 5 members in the same area, put 5 members in 5 different areas on attack. That way you will get that chaos effect and everyone fights 1 versus 1. Instead, Koi, they worry about 1 area of the map because everyone's coming from there, then they can run away. They get that chaos that they can thrive in.
Both teams using their timeouts. After it was Koi who took theirs, 2 rounds were won in a row by Elevate. But then Koi went on the streak they're on right now. Something's got to break at this point. Either Elevate loses their lead, they've had all game, that's one hell of a streak, or Koi loses their first round in 5, and that is also one hell of a streak. Cryan died just mere moments ago. Koi will fall off and head back closer to the bomb site as Deepak watches 2 players from Elevate drop down close to the same window that he peeks at inside of gaming.
It's a clone, not the real deal.
Sometimes it gets me.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you think it's a clone and it's not, and then you let them run past you. A lot of things can happen with those mind games.
You're talking specifically about the map previously.
Yeah, about Bank.
Oh.
It's a rarity that we see them just be like, oh, it's a clone, don't shoot it. And then it's like, it's actually the real player. Elevate, they got that early pick. Now the mid round, not much has happened since. Koi playing more passive, allowing them to make the first move. The thing is, when you have Capital on the board, nade and flashbangs, Elevate could strike anywhere on the map. They have every single piece of utility they could ever desire for it. The smokes are out, bow in hand. This might be that signal for execute time.
Ooh. Spoit plugging the hole that was created next to him, and then another Kiba barrier goes down. Give him clear passage should somebody jump in library, and they do, but Spoit works his magic. And just like that, Sapper and TCH are gone. Onigiri is in the grave too. Elevate got the first pick. They had an advantage for well over a minute and a half, but Koi have been just so smooth from that point onward. Leaves it up to Mr. Punch now, over by Library, and he knew that he had a member of Koi not too far away. Mark was on the map as well, but look at that, 5 kills in a row. And how about 6 rounds in a row as Koi now sit on series point?
Oh, that things have flipped on its head. I mean, it feels like it was just like a few minutes ago that Elevate were stomping Koi when they were on the defense, and the things just changed with the words for them.
That's a clip.
That's a clip. Esports says.
Wait,
I want a Bennett trick.
Okay, go then.
We have input from Deepak is such a man of few words. He will say, I want a bandit trick. No context needed, no like specifics. I want a bandit trick. Okay, fair enough. You get to do that. We saw last time that Elevate, they went for the Thatcher Thermite combo on the wall. If they don't drone it out, then you can definitely stop that Denix tracks if you're Deepak. Just hide from the drones. And therefore you can freely just choose your wall to stick at. DCH showing a bit of blitz play perhaps in this final round, or possible rather, final round of basement defense. There are a ton of explosives on the side of Koi. A set of impact grenades, 2 set of C4s. Perhaps they too are expecting a shield or 2. If you're playing basement defense in Chalet, I would always recommend having 1 set of impact grenades just in case an Ossa gets brought out, because those Talon shields can be so hard to deal with otherwise. The C4s can't always reach as they're outside the building. And see if Deepak can successfully penetrate this wall, and if Elevate drones it, they keep a barrier. Buys them a bit of time. They won't know that's a Kite Claw or a Bandit Battery. Either they guess and they might get tricked, they gotta deal with the keep a barrier first. Thermite is approaching. Thatcher is there. Second drone goes out and they recognize, oh, they're just gonna gamble it. Surely it's a Kite Claw. Surely. Oh, they check it this way. The EMP falls to the bandit trick. Now they know. The issue is, how do they deal with this bandit? They need a set of grenades there for the drone hole or something else. And there's nothing. So he just tricks it. All the EMPs, they're getting spent on this wall. You can't get this opened up now.
How many rounds ago was it when I said being able to get open a wall, or the inverse, keeping a wall closed?
Big impact.
Huge impact.
And it's again, the checklist from Elevate, it's not there. If there's a bandit on that wall, the only way to like get through it is to grenade the drone hole, go above in fireplace, do vertical control, or have a Sophia stun the drone hole. You can't just simply try and brute force because you lose that every single time. Bandit is simply faster, and you cannot get past the trick.
And also changes to Bandit over the last year or so, allowing him to put down multiple batteries on the wall. That enables bandit tricking at a much quicker pace. Oh, Spoit. No, 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 you don't want that.
Oh, he tried to ram.
He gets the smoke from DCH. A Nitro Cell from Cryan might have been intended for the blitz, but doesn't do any damage to him. Instead, it's Mark who goes down, and those exothermic charges in the hands of Mark had not been entirely successful. A crucial round as Koi looks for 7 in a row to put away this series. As the clock continues to run, that will benefit this Koi squad that is hunkered down inside of the bomb site. Elevate still clearing the top floor with 50 seconds to go, and it's Cryan now who will be watched over by the blitz. But he's got his glasses on. DCH hoping for a nice shot, and he loses it, but Koi doesn't. They don't lose anything. 7 in a row for the Berlin Major champions. Chalet looked, and I put it topically, in the bin for Koi. 5-0 for Elevate, but then Koi wins 7 rounds in a row.
And they needed that so badly. I mean, Leon was not happy around round number 4 and 5, saying, guys, listen to the call-outs, figure it out. They did that. All they needed, side swap. Elevate on attack, a lot of weaknesses to be found, and Rogue's defenses look rather strong, and that creates that big gap difference of 7 rounds in a row.
Yeah, really just phenomenal stuff. You win one round in your first half, and then you sweep the second half. I mean, I know that Koi had some doubters, and I think for good reason, given their performance earlier on.
Yeah.
But you never count out major champions. They make it to the finals of an event, and they win the whole thing in one of the best matches that we've seen in ages. That Berlin Major final was so damn good. And why? Because of how Koi played. I mean, it's not just both the teams, but Koi ended up winning it.
Yeah.
They were the best team in the world at that time. And now, yeah, you can't say they're the best team in the world now, but that was one hell of a performance against Elevate.
That it was. And they get, what, 4 points now with that 2-0? So they needed that. Elevate, unfortunately.
At minimum.
At minimum.
At minimum.
Whereas Elevate, they would need minimum like 8 points tomorrow because they are far down in the group, unfortunately.
Yes. Rough going for Elevate, and if you're not named CAG, it's been a rough going for the entire region of APAC, which only has 3 teams here. So, I mean, if 1 or 2 teams has a bad day or two, that can be it for an entire region. That said, that's it for our matchup. We're all done. But we still got 3 more games to get through today, and we don't want to waste any more of your time than we need to. We're going to throw to a break, and then we'll come back as the desk talks about that match.
I'm Nicholas Morton, but you know me as Pingu. I'm a 2-time Rainbow Six Siege World Champion and former top Rainbow Six Siege player in Pro League. Welcome to my Siege Ranked Bootcamp. We're talking 20 seconds left on the clock, you got the diffuser in hand, what do? Play the way that you're comfortable with, because you have confidence when you're in this position, that is when you're gonna be at your very best. Good luck.
everybody, and welcome back to Six Invitational 2023. Our first two matchups are done. This concludes it all for Stream A and B. Our winners are in, and I gotta say, good collection after the day off. Koi with a 2-0 over Elevate and collect four, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 points that they have for the group. It's gonna save them after a bit of a rocky start on day one. Hello, I'm Milosh. I'm joined by Demo and XR Troika, and I would like to hand things off here since we have a special time. Demo, would you like to host the rest of this desk? At least for a bit. Go ahead.
I've got stage fright.
All yours.
I've got stage fright. Do I ask him a question?
You can ask,
ask me a question.
Well, Ollie,
introduce us first.
Well, guys, I'm joined here on the desk with Milosh and Ollie. They're here joining me today. Ollie, seen some Siege today, didn't we?
Well, we did see some Siege. Fortunately for us, this game was a little bit more exciting than the game that was on the B stream. That game was quite quick, whereas this game did drag on just a little bit. Koi, obviously, getting the win here today against Elevate. And I think some of the things that we discussed in the pre-game sort of came out to be true, didn't they? We were really worried about Elevate on their attacks in particular, and that was something that really translated in through this game, particularly on that second map.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a big problem in attacking, and I said this yesterday. Look, now I'm just the analyst, so I can actually say things, be relatively confident in what I'm saying, because that's what analysts do. If you're not good at attacks, you're not going to win any tournament, let alone an invitational. And this is a major issue for any team. I'm not really discounting anybody for it. But Koi had a day off. They were able to work with the problems that they had, or work on the problems that they had, go to the gym, which is also very healthy. Congratulations, we got to see him. But it was just a day one fluke, right? You start in, tough time, and to be honest, you flip a coin, that game against G2 goes either way. So Doki can be in fire all he wants. I don't think that, it helped the map one, but it almost turned around to Koi's favor, so we'll leave it at that. Koi are back, they had a day off, they're looking pretty.
In terms of Koi being back, I have to disagree. The reason being is I think today, I don't think that was Koi at their best.
See, you should voice it as a host.
I'm not... Come on.
You're the host.
No.
Demo lad.
I think today, Koi, yes, they come in, they get the bounce back, which is what we need to see from them. 4 points straight in, bang, job done. Basically kills off Elevate in terms of this competition. Now, that's essentially what it's done. But Koi today wasn't the same team I was expecting. I think the bank really shocked me. I thought they were going to come in, open things up with a really strong scoreline, 7-2, comfortable, ease their way back in is what we expect from Koi. But today there was something off. I don't know what it was. It seemed to be very individual. I don't know if it was a communication problem today. They weren't doing things in unison, which is one thing we always have known this team to be, is, that 3-2-1 go, everyone commits. Like even Elevate today and their strategies weren't, it was very ranked-esque. It was very by the by, a couple of cheese rounds, but at least Elevate were doing it together. I didn't really see that from Koi today.
Honestly, now that you say it, I agree. I agree. To be very fair about all of this, and you mentioned how, the way that Koi are known to be played, at least how they won in Berlin, it still was a disjointed mess until there was a timeout, and you could hear Meepy kind of pulling the soldiers together like, guys, come on, let's go. Don't overpeak, take your time, it's okay, speak to one another, and that's something that helped them a lot. Now, you can't rely on your coach in that position to be the sixth player, because that's not how the rules work. But if Koi was playing against any team that is not Elevate, maybe we would have seen a different result on it.
Something that it looked as though Koi was struggling with today was the communication and that sort of energy that they like to bring as a team. They're a very energetic side. They're always, gassing each other up and on each other's back. That was one of the things that we didn't really see today when things were going badly. Sure, when things are going well, it's really easy to do that, and it's really easy to be really pleased at the end of a round and good fist bumps all around. But when things aren't going too well, they looked a little bit down in the dumps.
We'll take a look at, host.
Me, again?
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, there's some numbers there on the screen. some 14s there, all. There's a 14. There's a couple of 9.
Look, Demo. Let's we'll take it over from here. Look, 8-7, right? You go to overtime. I think this echoes what our good friend Harry Dempster. I'm sure you've seen him in the green room.
Oh, do you want the other demo back?
No, this demo is fine.
Oh.
You know, 8 got too close. Going to OT in this case should not have been the case.
This doesn't really feel to me like a clean win for Koi. It is far.
It's very scrappy.
An 8-7 on the bank. Now, we criticised Elevate's attacks in the pre-show, and we're going to criticise Elevate's attacks a little bit later.
We'll get into that in
well,
Matt, don't worry.
But they kicked off with a really successful attacking round. It was almost a flawless round, and it would have been save for one single Capcan trap going off right at the very end. So they did a fantastic job, but it really quickly fell apart from there.
Stuff like this. Just at a map, like for no reason, they've just soloed a Mario in. Yeah. It shows a sign of weakness.
It comes back to what we were saying. I feel like they're trying too hard in the lineups. I feel like they need to go back to basics a little bit. A Mario in is something that you can do when you've got good map pressure, you've got good control, you've got good information. Not when you've just got Spoit hanging around on Oryx, who basically knows he's droned, by the way, because he shoots the drone 1 second after he gets the kill. It isn't going to work against a team like Koi. Koi were really comfortable on the defense today.
It is odd to see 8 more passive Koi. And I don't even know like what to chalk it up to, because especially this engagement you're seeing right now on your screen. This was the most awkward gunfight I have seen all tournament so far.
Yeah, there's a few moments for me where I looked at probably both teams, and I don't think both teams were at the best that we can. I think Elevate, for me, hasn't delivered to the expectations we thought. Like, sure, you can sit there and say group of death, you know, it's an APAC team. You would probably, I think a lot of people would say 5th place for the APAC team, considering who else is in their group, but I would still think they'd put up a really good fight, considering what this team was able to do last year. But I don't know what it is with Elevate. It's not the same team from last year. And Koi, again, like I said, getting the points is really important, but I think whenever you're in a group with W7M, in a group with G2, being able to go out and do big performances. Look what W7M did to SSG. That's how you put a statement out. That's what Koi need to be doing.
Weird thing is, Ollie, here, is that I think most people going into SI were thinking that the way Koi are playing right now is how G2 would be playing.
Scrappy, just about getting
it. G2 are playing the way that we're all expecting Koi to be if we're looking at Berlin, especially.
It's almost, have they body swapped? Has everyone just morphed into somebody else's body?
Oh my god.
Imagine Cryan's mind in Doki's body, and Cryan's just like, why am I this big all of a sudden? And Doki's like, oh, I can see. Like, unbelievable. It really is. It's one of those situations where you look at it and you go, the mojo isn't there for Koi at the minute, and then they need to find it. It's only fair that we criticise Koi's attacks as well as Elevate's, because Elevate didn't do a great job on the attack. They won 2 attacking rounds out of the entire series. So that's 6. Sorry, that's
how many attacks did they have? Like 12
rounds.
And we said 19% attack win rate, so that makes sense with the graphic we had earlier, Ollie.
Shocking. Yeah. Rogue, they didn't. Sorry, Koi, they didn't do much better either. They only won 3. So, sorry, 4. A lot of teams really struggling there. This was, for me, alarm bells were going off at one point.
5-0
Serious.
They're 5-1 up. They were 5-1 up. They lost 6.
In a row.
In a row.
Back to back to back.
Just, Elevate attacks. You can't, if you can't do them, you're not winning.
How did Koi actually pull that off? Because like we said, you know, seeing maps that are so defense favored is odd, but even more on the Chalet.
It's come back to Ollie's point. Elevate trying too hard. We're seeing the Mont DB played a lot. We're seeing these weird operator selections. Exactly. We're seeing all of this weird stuff. And Koi were very happy to read into that and sit back and just do their thing. I will say I think the cohesion in terms of defense from Koi today was really good. I think their defense half, you have to give praise to them in terms of being able to work together, not really allowing Elevate to have big leads in the attack. You didn't have to focus too much on clutches today for Koi, which we know they do have that clutch potential, but I don't think you want to show clutches, because generally clutches, you haven't played too well to begin with to then set yourself up for those moments. So I think Koi will be happy with the defense. It's just the attack for Koi today is where they were a little bit individual, but still have to hammer home the point. Koi, 4 points is the most important thing, not dropping any points.
It is, and I feel like we're being quite critical of both teams here, and it is important to bring it back to the fact that Koi have come away with a full 4.
Yeah, it's great from them, yeah.
And we said at the start, we said one of these two teams needs to come away with 4 points. Neither one can afford to split points here.
So to turn the conversation, we're steered a bit away from, well, both teams made a boatload of mistakes, and, you know, there's some things to work on. Who are players that you feel have done well despite the kind of turbulent nature of these two maps?
I think Kanto had a good day today. I think he was really good in the kind of opening stages of Bank, getting a lot of kills there in the early game, getting them kind of going. And you think about, imagine if Koi went off to a slow start in Bank.
Yeah.
You'd be worried for them then. So I think Kanto stepping up, being able to lead the charge for the first couple of rounds was good. In terms of Elevate, I think Elevate always had the potential where anyone could really pop off. I think you're looking at, again, I think for me, Onigiri, I think was up there as you would expect.
Yeah, I think Deepak had a cracking game. Deepak had a great series. He was 8-1 at one point on Bank quite early on into the game, and still playing on the Echo, playing on those real hard support ops that we're used to seeing him play on the defense. And I think for me, to have that strength in the back line when he's providing so much value that isn't visible, you know, calls, comms, information, things that are difficult to measure and put down to a single number, for him still to be putting up good numbers on the kill board is impressive. And I think he still ended up second highest rated on the side of Koi as well, behind Kanto.
Look, and if the game was so close, was there somebody at Elevate that popped off that you feel maybe they were the hope of the team, again, despite a difficult game?
You could say Onigiri. I think, you know, Demo's already touched on that. He had a great game. Someone like Sapper had a cracking time as well. But there was a little bit less at the bottom end of the scoreboard from Elevate, and that's where they really started to fall off.
All right. I think it's time for us then to recap this group and see what the end of it is, because that is Group A for today. Oh no, our MVP first. All right, Lanto Racketi is back, at least for this game. 22-18 so far here in the tournament, and we've seen him really pop off today, much more than day one. Not too bad, 114 rating, a bit more than usual. We don't always see Kanto. Kanto seems like old Doki to me. He's either in it completely and he's smashing everybody, or he is as you see in the photo.
Big series, now it's time for a nap.
Sure.
Kanto, he's time for a quick snooze, I think. He's put a shift in today. He deserves it. Can take a rest.
Yeah, he's good.
Insightful commentary, as always, here on the Analyst Desk. See, you should be the host.
Thank you. Well, that's going to be us done for our desk here.
Oh, we're not done yet.
No, not done yet. We have to recap our group because, of course, we have to take a look at the group standing and see where everyone is going to be sitting. W7M right at the top. That is them confirmed at least for the next stage. I would say you'd probably be looking at them to take the first seed. I think just in a league of their own, Milos, aren't they at the moment?
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, you could create a whole group just for them. 11 points at the top, 19 round differential. I just want to preface this with, or put the caveat of, we said this about Damwon Kia last year at SI22. Then they got shreked by the Sonics later in the playoffs. So I'm just going to put this out there. I won't call it yet, but I'll say they're big contenders.
Big contenders indeed. I think that whilst Koi are there sat in second, you've got to be very mindful of that second.
They're not too Koi yet.
They cannot be too Koi yet. They may be in second now, with G2 trailing by 1 point, but of course, Koi have already had their off day, so there is that to take into consideration. So they do have a game in hand against G2. But Koi's last game, and I know we're jumping a little bit ahead here, but they're going to be going up against W7M, who are already at the top of that group. So there's still a lot of room to wiggle here in that second, third, and fourth seed. Of course, Elevate, they are going to struggle quite greatly at this point to get out, given that they only have one more game left.
4 points.
Can only end up with 4 points.
I know where you're looking at me. Your host is right here.
Well, actually, Ollie's actually my host.
Yeah, you're hosting now.
Ollie's my host.
Is it back to me for the host?
Yeah.
Well, I hope everyone's enjoyed us breaking down that game. I've had a great time. We've been swapping roles on the desk just because why not? We had a little bit of extra time. But stay tuned. We're going to cut to a very short break, and then we will be back with more Siege action. We've got Eminem and Liquid coming right up.
In a second when they call it.
Yeah, I can't hear them call it.
That's the job of the host.
See, I can't. You can't just throw me the host role, Milosh, with no run of show in front of me and then expect me to pull it
I
off.
don't have one either.
Well, you got it in your head.
Got it memorized. Did you play Kingdom Hearts?
No.
No? Nobody knows Axel?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. On your own.
Oh, boy. For all the weebs out there, you'll know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, that was it. It was a great start, I have to say, with between two of the matches that we came up with. It really showed domination from one side, at least in game number 1. SSG unable to really pull off any points, but W7M, they proved to us why they are considered such powerhouses. Koi, a few things still to work on. We'll have to see if Elevate can recover because they only have 2 play days left. And, well, the 5th one, it's their off day. Things get a bit too hot here for Elevate, but we will take a break. When we come back, we'll go for our second set of matches for today. Gentlemen, thank you again for hosting and helping out. Extra Troika, Demo. Wonderful lads. Take a break. See you in a bit.